June the 14th, 2017. I've got a few updates that I want to touch on. First, National Hurricane Center. We've got a disturbance coming off the coast of Africa, and they're giving right now a 10% chance of cyclone formation. Now, normally, if you watch some of the other videos, most of our June storms have either come from the Caribbean or the Gulf of Mexico. But this one, again, 10% chance of cyclone formation in 48 hours. A large area of showers and thunderstorms several hundred miles south of the Cabo Verde Islands is associated with a strong tropical wave. The report says development, if any, of this system is expected to be slow to occur during the next several days while the wave moves westward near 20 miles an hour over the tropical Atlantic. Formation chance 48 hours, 10%, and it is 20% over the next 5 days. So they're expecting it to increase. We're going to have to watch it. One thing about this, guys, there is a small system in the Gulf, but the wind shear now has changed. They've been talking about it starting to change, and now that shear that was blowing from the left of this map, from the west towards the east, is now dying off. That's when these storms start forming, because we have the energy on the surface of the ocean between the warm air and the warm ocean temperature, sea surface temperature there. But now with the shear gone, it's really going to increase the chances. This is the system they're watching coming off of Africa. Not that impressive yet, but we're going to watch it. We saw large ones come off several times last year during the season, and there were certain ones that really looked powerful, and it ended up they were. This is looking at the Gulf of Mexico. I'm going to cut on the high-level winds now. We'll look at all three levels, low, mid, and high. But this high level, guys, the last video that we did, it was blowing, again, straight from the east to the west. These are low levels. We'll put them all together. But what we're dealing with now is that loss of wind shear. It's dealing with warmer temperatures. The Gulf has been warm for over 2 months now. It's getting warmer. I think that has something to do with the gamma radiation. It has to be absorbed. We're seeing that 14% over the last 2 years of cosmic radiation penetrating our shields, our atmosphere, and that's why you're getting the sunburn. So when you're getting that heat, so is the sea surface temperature. The sea surface, and it increases the temperature, guys. So we are in a different weather pattern than we've seen in our lifetime. Another thing, just quickly, the 7.2 earthquake in Guatemala, now it's a 6.9. It happened today at 7:29 UTC time. Okay, now we got an increase in solar wind, and let's take a quick look at space weather. There's about 3 things I want to talk about. Like I said, it's a busy day. Remember the video I did over a week ago where they were going to launch the rocket off the Virginia coast, I think, and let the different colors, different chemicals go into the atmosphere, so they're saying they can study the upper atmosphere. That has been put off by weather and hazard-related postponements is what they're saying. So what they're going to try to do is tonight, June 4th, between 9:05 and 9:20 p.m. on the East Coast, they're going to try to redo this rocket, release a network of red, blue, and green vapors about 100 miles high. If you got good weather, guys, you may can catch this. The other thing, we have a coronal hole that's coming around from left to right on the surface of the sun. It's marked there in the deeper blue. Now, even when this gets directly in the middle of this camera, which gives us an Earth-facing view, it still takes a couple days to get to us. And they're saying here on June 16th, at the bottom it's saying that they're looking for wind speeds as high as 700 kilometers per second. We've seen that before, and we've seen it jump, well, much higher than that. It's over 1.5 million miles per hour, guys. But this one's going to be threaded with what they're calling negative polarity, south-pointing magnetic fields. Such fields do a good job connecting to Earth's magnetosphere and energizing geomagnetic storms. So you're going to have auroras. And, guys, because of this connection, let's watch for the earthquakes. Looking at the solar wind for the last 7 days, it had dropped below close to 250 kilometers per second on the 10th, if you notice that. But now we're getting over 500 kilometers per second by the 13th. Getting into today, we're at 495. That's elevated above the 325 kilometer per second average, is what I call it. But it hasn't been a lot of sharp impacts yet where you see a large spike. We'll be watching for that on the 16th. Now, going to London, guys, many of you are aware of this. That large tower there that was an apartment complex, I think 27 stories maybe, something like that, caught on fire about midnight London time last night. They had just come in not too long ago and put about $10 million into this building. And one of the things that the people on the ground in the videos I saw this morning, and you can see it was still on fire as the sun was rising, was you see the white panels on this? They spent $10 million and they're basically plastic. It may have been vinyl. They were calling it plastic on the ground. And in a lot of the shots, you see to where that looked like what was burning, the outer edges. But people were jumping, people are dead, people were trapped. And that's going to be the bad news about that. They can't get in there yet, but so many people were trapped above, I think, about the 14th floor or so, guys. That's going to be bad. Now, coming back to the U.S., there was a shooting in Virginia this morning, and Republican Representative Steve Scalise and others were shot at a congressional baseball practice. No one was killed, but someone was laying in a field and with a rifle, I guess, watching, and he started shooting people. They say he wanted to kill as many Republican senators or congressmen as he could. Now, guys, they don't have the budget settled. They don't have health care settled yet. And I'm not talking about it. I'm glad no one was killed. But we're paying them up to $193,000 a year for senior leaders, $174,000 a year for the delegates to the House. Think about that, $174,000 a year. They're, I think, getting ready to go on another recess, and our country's in turmoil. So maybe if we could change this, maybe we could get with the president to put these guys on the clock. When they walk into Congress or the Senate, they go on the clock then. Only time you get paid, not when you're out taking bribes, not when you're out campaigning for the next election. But just put them on the clock. I bet you get a lot more work done. It works for every other American. But now, I got to say this. Florida, wake up. Marco Rubio, he was a little pain in the butt during the election. But now, if you watched yesterday when they were interrogating Jeff Sessions, trying to come up with some Russian collusion, our state attorney general out of Alabama, our U.S. attorney general out of Alabama, Rubio continuously attacked him. He's a Republican. But so we've got elections coming up. What is it, 2018? Not long. You guys in Florida, take out these Democratic plants. Do you understand what I'm saying? The way this government was working, we saw so many things happen on the Republican side in the last 2 years that you'd have to be asleep not to realize that the Democrats had planted Republican candidates that would into the elections that would vote their way. But I watched it, and as the headlines in Breitbart said, Marco Rubio pushes left-wing conspiracy theory about Trump advancing Russian interests in the Ukraine. He hammered Jeff Sessions. It was sickening. Guys, vote this Trojan horse out of office in Florida. That's where I keep my boat. I feel like it's my home, too. I stay down there a lot. But he was attacking Jeff Sessions. This was at the meeting yesterday. But let me tell you guys, if you didn't watch it, you need to go to C-SPAN. They've got it on in the archives. Jeff Sessions tore him up. Man, he let him know how stupid this entire thing was, what a waste of taxpayer dollars, and we need to get on with business. And the Democrats were sickening and pathetic, and then Rubio, a Republican, comes in there and acts just like them. Get this guy out of office. Florida voted for Trump. I watched it all. Mississippi voted for Trump, Alabama. Everything but the big sanctuary city states pretty much were Trump supporters, and that's why he won. So Florida, go ahead and drain the swamp. It's not just in D.C. As far as the flush valve. The flush valve is in every city in this nation. If you see these Republicans going over to the Democrats as far as their policies and then attacking the president over lies that they have, the FBI and everybody else has already said there's no collusion with Ukraine, or with Russia. But they continue to do it. And Marco Rubio, I expect it out of the Democrats. We all do. But not the Republicans. If he wants to run, make him run Democrat. Then he will lose. But guys, vote him out. Get him out. This is a heads up. We're watching all these events. There'll be updates.
Festival. A touring reggae festival. A Jamaican reggae festival. Put on by Jamaicans. A lot of people never know that. So we want to go along in our history with you, and all the people them who listen to our foreign can write down where them are write down. We have a book here where it's a long time we should have really reviewed this book here, but not never done before the time. Reggae Sunsplash, 1978 to 1998 by Java Emmanuel I. Forward by yours truly, Mutabaruka. And what this book has done is to trace Reggae Sunsplash from its inception until the time when it stopped. And it's a very comprehensive book, I must say. It's the first I've actually seen a book written by a Jamaican with so much in-depth detail of a historical affair like Reggae Sunsplash. The man have everything in it, how much the music charge when it start, till when it and which part it that keep, the amount of artists with dip on it, how much time the artists them dip on it, the amount of disc jock them, the places where tour go. A very comprehensive book. I would recommend this book to any reggae enthusiasts who want to just delve into a history, because say it's not every time black people write them own thing, and we give thanks that a brethren come forward. Years now, I'm going to ask him to, if I'm not wrong, about 7-8 years, him have the book out there. Can you believe that? I don't know it's what spirit that may come and say, no, we have to do it. But we'll tell him like last year, so we don't going to do it January, and we never do it. But it's appropriate given that this next festival here, which is the follow-up to Reggae Sunsplash. Reggae has been all over the lips of many people all over the world, and one wonders when you go everywhere, people ask you, "Welcome to Jamaica, welcome to Jamaica." Well, the follow-up to Reggae Sunsplash is Sunfest, and Sunfest have been around a very long time. As a matter of fact, it's from in the 90s it come, and it's still here. I think it's 25 years now of Sunfest. We're going to find out from the producers and the ones them who originate the original Reggae Sunsplash, and then we figure out about what is it that we need to see in Sunfest, which most people know now who's listening to this program, and a lot of you never know about Reggae Sunsplash. So that is what we're going to work with tonight. That is what we're going to work with tonight. This is The Cutting Edge on RFM. Before we forget to heal up all the people in New York City, especially Queens. Yes, it was wonderful, man. Yes, Farm Up Jamaica present Lieutenant Stitchie. Who want to heal up Lieutenant Stitchie now? Lieutenant Stitchie. We want to heal up, anybody who know Lieutenant Stitchie, tell him say Mutabaruka heal up Lieutenant Stitchie. Okay. And Sister Carol, I know that she could have still there in New York. We want to heal up Sister Carol. Kimani Marley. No, me I tell you. Me have to tell the people them about that thing were happening in New York the other day. So we're up on the stage and time ago, everybody had to cut short them thing. The show supposed to be done 8 o'clock. Not 8 o'clock in the morning, you know, 8 o'clock in the night. Different thing. From Jamaica. The show supposed to be done 8 o'clock. At about 11 past 8, you know, Kimani Mali up on the stage. 2 police, 2 white men, white police. Tell you, say, look here, cut that, lock that off. So we run up on the stage, everybody run up on the stage and I try to get Kimani to come off on the stage now. You see when Kimani walk off on the stage, one of the white man them, police in a white shirt and black pants, run up on the stage and hold up him finger and say, one more, may I tell you. The people them nearly drop down. Thousands of people out there nearly drop down, man. Them can't believe it. So the man run come on the stage, man, and Kimani Mali hug him up, man. He hug up back Kimani Mali, man, and Kimani start sing One Love, man. The man, me say the man get some applause. So it was a sight to see, because I've never seen that before, a foreign. I never seen that before in a foreign. The policeman tell you must lock off set and then tell you say must play one more. I mean, I come and hear policeman tell lock off set already. Yes, it happened in a foreign too. For those of you who don't know, it happened in a foreign and you have to strict with it in a foreign. And I like Jamaica where you can give a man 2 beer, 2 policemen 2 beer and them go and make it run. You understand? Them man they charge you too. You have all venue, you know, you have indoor venues where if them tell the show's supposed to done 11, you know, you go over time, you know, you have to pay for your hour. Yes, so if it's like $6,000 you rent the place for, if you go over the time, you have to pay another $6,000, you know. Yeah, man, I saw them people that do them thing. Or the union people them who are working there, when them tell you say 11 o'clock and you know don't show 11, you don't see the place in the darkness. You better do some acapella thing inside it so without mic. Like just lock off my yo. Them thing in Jamaica, you tell a man say 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock people just a come. But it was a sight to see when the policeman run on the stage, man. Everybody feel good about it, man. The audience was ecstatic, man. When them say the policeman say 1 more. Yes, so that was something. But I say we have a wonderful time. Before I forget, you know, we meet some brethren in a Queens there. JR, them do a junior name. Them do cell phone. Them sell cell phone. But I heal up the brethren who kind of treat me good. Anybody who know JR, when cell phone them sell. Tell them say Mutabaruka yell him up and me I tell every Jamaican say enter you go to New York and you want your phone click up right proper, go check him. As a matter of fact, him can set you up with all chip from Yasso. That's when you reach up there so it just work. Me no say advertisement, but me have to tell the people about this bridge there. So we go in to the place and go buy a couple phone from him, yes. Couple phone, which is serious. And him fix me old phone where the brother had the thief 2 years ago. Him fix it. Put on new glass on it and everything, we feel good about that. But him ring round me and buy scraping off a dozen off for me because I buy a phone from him and my brother tell me say motor. And that you buy for the phone, could I get that for $50? But I don't know, can treat me good. I will know say next time when we are going to New York, we call him and say motor coming out, chip. SIM card. I will just work that. So anybody know him, tell him say Mutabaruka yell him. With him little Indian friend inside of the store there when we never go to India yet. Cause I'm a Jamaican. Everybody inside they believe say come from India, but a Jamaican, I tell you, Jamaican people are easy, you know. A whole heap of Jamaican, they are Queens. So you know, it look like Queens are the most Jamaican. Why you know all the people them. All the people them. Cause a long time we never go to New York. We divert, we go through the airport and pass through, we never stop there. So why you know all the people them who pay them $40 to come see Mutabaruka when they have on the shoes. And that over them say. And that nobody tell me, say, Muta, a $40 no pay come up and say if you really don't have no shoes, you know. So I healing up, you understand? And we say, give thanks to the brethren who take care of it. And yeah, why you love Jessica? Why you love Jessica? I want my people why you love, you know, but I don't know yellow program this, you know. I continue the journey. Continue. Yo, we are saying so now. Look at this is a serious thing. We are talking about a fire in England there. Me I tell you, that fire there look away. When we are look upon it, the fire look away, Rasta. No, serious. Me never see a fire like that in England yet. People all dive through all them window with fire all dip on them back. Yes. Fire in England. Them say about 12 people already them find dead. And it's supposed to come up to more. But it's a big fire that. A really big fire, man. How much story I never see nothing like that in England, Rasta. Believe you me, something I go on, we don't know. Just like how we see a fire downtown here the other day. I mean, really, it's where I go on. Fire go on. Since me left here last week and come back yesterday, I hear say 54 people get murdered. Right. Last week, me left here and come back this week, I hear say 54 people get murdered. That's why I'm afraid for go to Iraq, you know, or Syria. The brethren, we go to Turkey the other day, and the brother hear me say, I want to go up on the border, go to the refugee camp. He asked me, I really want to go, and I say, yes. Don't go reason why I never go, you know. I threw me things that didn't near that which part of the day. I never really want to fly another hour or half hour after I come on and spend 14 hours for reach there, so. That's why I never go down there. But I would go down there. Because if me can live at Jamaica, me can go to Syria, Rasta. Believe you me, and Iraq. Yeah, because if 50 people dead in a 1 week, murdered in a 1 week. And it never done because last night and the night before, we hear some more people gone again. May I tell you? Anyway, I don't know what is going to happen. Because these guys don't know what to do. Them don't know what to do. Understand? It can't fix, you know. Yeah, man, it can't fix, man. Don't feel away. The thing can't fix. But will they want to fix it that way? How it's supposed to fix? Because many other countries have had worse problems than this when it comes on to killing. And it fix. Yeah, whole heap of people, country, they didn't have worse problems than this. And them fix it. But you know say they go fix? Maybe not with Sleepy. I'm not with Mr. keep me door open when I in a power. Mr. keep me door open when I in a power. Well, I tell you, that's supposed to be the most embarrassing thing right now. And two things Mr. Brother they do where it's very, very embarrassing, you know. One, him going to a supermarket with a basket and hold up some food and I show the people them say, watch out now. Look how the food them expensive and dear. When I in a power, the next thing is that when I'm in a power, you can leave your door them open. Now people I put on more grill on them gate, you know, and them house. What may I tell you? And them people that say them things there, you know, and them come in a power, you know, and get worse. And there's no consequence. There's no consequence to these things, more than him just say it. Mr. Bunting, him asked for divine intervention because him couldn't do it. And this said people are now come down upon him. Because they must say, the thing get out and them can't control it. And imagine now the Minister of National Security asked for divine intervention. I mean, them don't know what to do. And now for them turn. And the thing worse, It was a from January till now are the worst in the history of Jamaica. So much people ever get murdered from January till now. The worst. First, so much people ever get murdered in Jamaica. And our government will tell you, say, every time the other party in a power, crime rate gone up. And if them was in power, you could have left your gate, your door open. And go in a supermarket and hold up basket and talk about look how much we bread that's all, look how much we this that's all. Poor people can't manage. I want him going at the same supermarket with a bigger basket or a liquor basket and see how much things him can buy with the same money where him the same that I buy things with. Ginal ship, the whole of them, Ginal. All them crave for his power. The whole of them is Ginal. And the people them buy into it. I talk about say when them in a power, you can't leave your door open. You know how much people want to leave them door open. You don't ever want to leave you don't ever want to open your window for breeze coming there now. Because the breeze could have carry some little bad vibration in your house. The way the things set you know. Sometimes a bad vibration too. And them people there come on TV every day and chat and people believe them depending on which party you belong to. Because it's a party thing. If you listen to the radio, you realize it's a party thing at daytime. One man come and cuss the other party and the other one come and cuss the other party. There's no consciousness. Everybody has say, we're dealing with the people. It's the people we're dealing with, you know, sir. You don't see this government, and this government is the two government, them, you know. The two of them, PNP and GLP. PNP and GLP. But when I in power, I can left, people will be able to left them door open. I won't go to bed and dream them something. I won't go dream them thing there. And the former Minister of Agriculture is now the Minister of National Security and national whatsoever he is. And him don't know what to do. What to do. Every day him look like he might sleep on the job. I don't know, him don't know what to do. The man them giddy. Giddy. But it can't solve, you know. It can't solve, man. And sometimes we recommend some things and them go out like them not listen, you know. But you see, if them go do what me say, it'll go sound like them a put power in my voice. And them no want it happen that way there. Them no want it happen that way there. Them no want to say, why you know it's Muta, when them up on stage, them say, and you know, Muta suggested that we did this and we went and did it. And see, this and this is not happening again. Them no want to do that. Put power in a Muta voice and you're in a problem. You're in a problem. So make them go and struggle with and make more people dead. The last thing now this brother talk about say, we must feel good because it's the murderer, them a kill up the murder, it's the bad man, the criminal, them a kill up the criminal, we're supposed to feel good about that. We're supposed to feel good. Meanwhile, you hear that 4 people from one family get murdered. Meanwhile, you hear that. What a terrible thing. But the music is there. The music is there for really almost help the people them just feel like the rock not come down upon them too heavy. Or feel like at least them can brace themselves. At least them can brace themselves. But the more I look for where I go on, man, is the more I say, you see, politician Rasta, I tell you, man, politician make out a different when them become politician, because a normal people, them, you know. But you see, when them become politician, trust me, man, it's like how you have people that talk about them go to church and the Spirit take them over, the Spirit of the Lord and the name of the blood of Jesus. it come like you have something where when you become a politician, there's another spirit that is not of the Lord. I mean, I say it's of the devil neither. It's not of the Lord and it's not of the devil, but it's a spirit. Like what Roman Catholic, them have seeing for all different things. The Roman Catholic, them have seeing for thief, seeing for children, seeing for love, seeing for hate, seeing for this, seeing for that. And in India, them have like millions of gods, and that God's supposed to have a certain vibration that when you invoke that, or even in Africa, when you invoke certain things, it take hold of you and you become part of that thing. Well, I feel as a politician unconsciously, when them declare themselves politician, them is a different type of people. Different. Them just different. Them not like me and you again. Them just totally different. Them have a different spirit, a different way to explain things, a different way to go about things. Them just different Rasta. So me don't know. Because you have politicians who instigate murder. You have politicians who, I tell you, say, they must employ extortionists to collect money. You have politicians just have some weird, me don't know, Rasta. No, I don't know at all. All I know, say, this crime thing, have everybody upon them tipsy toes. Yes, have everybody upon them tipsy toes. Never in the history of Jamaica, apart from maybe earthquake. Well, earthquake never killed so much people neither in a 1 year. Trust me. Not even the one when I Port Royal there. And then you have hurricane. Hurricane not kill so much people. A people that kill people, you know. Act of man. Oh gosh, man. It's a terrible thing. When you look at the paper and see Sprawl Cross, family of 4 murdered. You know, it's like, wow. I wonder if the Taliban, I wonder if the ISIL people them there, you know, the disguise a gunman. And them now use religion to project them wickedness. Because at some serious, at some weird kind of heart, you have to have some weird vibration to go in our house and see 4 people in the house, including children. And when you come out, none of them are alive, you know. Yeah, man. It's a different kind of art, that Rasta. It's a different kind of art where you go for kill 1 man and kill all 5, including children and women in the 5. Different kind of art. And most of the youth them now have gun feel say the gun is more powerful than them penis. As a matter of fact, them are use the gun as them penis. Yes. Power lies in the gun, and if you look at the gun, you know, and you look at the bullet, you know, the bullet shaped like a penis. Yeah, the bullet shaped like a penis. Oh man, I say, boy, I'm a fire shot. Aye. Boy, this is the Cutting Edge on RFM. Yes, this is the Cutting Edge on RFM, man. As we are talking about some man or politician that suggest for the scammer, not the scammer them, the extortionists them collect government money. Ask them how much them usually get when them extort people and pay them that for collect government money. Maybe them should just ask them also for collect people them who are thief light. JP should employ some extortionists for all the people them who are thief light, because the woman say 1 million Jamaican now pay light bill. That is 1/3 of the population. Can you imagine that? 1/3 of Jamaican population not paying light bill. So, me don't know. Shall go with still, but maybe JPS can go to Spanish Town and employ some of the scammer them to collect the light bill from the people them who are thief the light. Just pay that, that's it. Only have 2 work for get now, you know. People them in Spanish Town. And if you can't get 2 jobs, maybe, we should just ask, get some youth for go work for government and JPS and cut down the unemployment. I mean, me I follow the logics. That me I do. Me I follow the logics. Me I follow the logics. And them I say it, you know, not me. Me just I see, me I follow the logics. I say, well, if the stationist them can collect money for government, maybe them can collect money for JPS too. Because the woman say it's 1/3, 1 million. Jamaica is 2.7 million, them say. Call it 3 million. And is 1/3 of Jamaican people not paying the light bill. So if 1/3 of the population not paying the light bill, can you imagine if JPS would supposed to collect that light bill money? It would have benefit some people and it would have benefit the extortionists them. The extortionists them would have 2 jobs with government. And then maybe some youth who live in school can go join with the extortionists them and work with the extortionists them to collect money for the government and for JPS and any other entity out there that need to collect money. You know, see, we are get mad. And not we still. Them I get mad. Them I get mad. Believe you me. It's desperation cause this thing, you know. Desperation. You them say a drowned man will have a straw. A drowned man will have a straw, but it's desperation I go on in Jamaica. Because we can employ this scammer them too, you know. Yeah man, this scammer them know how to draw money out of people's account. Like the bank them. It's like the bank them, you know. And something should I talk about tomorrow, though. We have sweeter things we have to deal with that, though. You know what I mean? It's like, tomorrow work with that. Right now, we want to deal with this music. Yeah, what we played last week. I kind of love the music, you know. I love this music, yeah. You know, all the ones that in England who know, say, why, that the fire there make you feel so weird, man. Make you feel weird. You see people that jump out a building with fire upon them back. Can't escape. Weird. I know, I bet you Jamaicans involved in that. In terms of living in another building there. And the whole of the place are burned down, you know. I want to follow to the fire. And the whole of the place are burned. People up there hold on glass. I try lick the glass and come out and all them way. And people ask them which floor them they on. May I tell you, it's a weird thing. So you will say so now. We want to turn over the program to, all right. Where were they? We are turning over the program to the lady. All right. Jamaica Roots and Culture. Here goes.
Welcome to Jamaican Roots and Culture. I'm Pat Clark. Our language is one of the most important aspects of our culture. In Jamaica, Patois is often referred to as our mother tongue. It is a language which comes naturally to the majority of Jamaicans. It is an oral tradition and not generally a written language. There's no standard way to write it. How did this intriguing language evolve? Let's explore the origin. Creole languages are found all over the world on every continent. When 2 or more languages come into contact to form a new language, a Creole language is born. Some type of human upheaval that forces people to find a way to communicate without using their own languages stimulates the creation of Creole languages. In the case of Creole languages in Jamaica, the upheaval was the past history of slavery. Most Creole languages have their base in one language. In Jamaica, enslaved Africans were thrown into a situation where the only common means of communication was English, or at least broken English. Therefore, Jamaican Creole has a significant portion of its roots in English. However, some essential words which people could not find an English name for were taken from a variety of West African languages. From all indications, therefore, the development of the Jamaican Creole is linked to the history of the country's interaction with a variety of cultures and languages from many ethnic, linguistic, and social backgrounds. Aside from the Arawaks, the original inhabitants of Jamaica were all exiles or children of exiles. Over 90% of the 2.5 million people living in Jamaica today are descendants of enslaved people brought from Western Africa by the British. The local Jamaican language is a reflection of a history of contact with a variety of speakers, but the official language remains to be Standard English. Jamaican history and the making of language are based on the experience of exile. In the 16th century, Spanish settlement began in Jamaica with the Arawaks as their first slave labor force. Within 100 years, very few Arawaks survived due to a deadly epidemic and genocide. The only evidence of the Arawak dialect in Jamaica today is a few words depicting certain place names, food, natural objects, and events, for example, hurricanes. And the country name Jamaica is actually an Arawak word. It is possible that the first contact of the Arawaks and the Spaniards may have led to an early pidgin or bilingualism among the first generation of mixed blood. Throughout Spanish rule, the Arawaks had contact with Spanish colonists, Portuguese Christians, Jews, and Amerindians brought in as slaves from other parts of the Caribbean and West Africans. In 1655, the English attacked the Spanish colony, bringing with them new influences. The birth of population centers such as Port Royal, Passage Fort, and Kingston served as a mixing pot of many different speakers. Africans came to acquire forms of English because of the domination of white dialects. During the heyday of sugar between 1700 and 1834, increasing numbers of Africans were imported to work on the large plantations. Conflict of identity emerged in the 18th century when many Creole whites firmly identified with Jamaica and did not want to be called Englishmen. This is the period thought to be most responsible for the forming of Jamaican language, which we now call Jamaican Creole. Increases in written records of Jamaican Creole were seen during the abolitionist movement from 1770 to 1838. English continued to influence Jamaican Creole in the form of biblical language and prayer book language. The most influential speakers were immigrants from Africa and Europe. Kwa, Twi, Manding, and Kru are among the variety of prominent African languages apparent in Jamaican history. Early modern English was brought to the Caribbean by sailors, soldiers, indentured servants, convicts, and settlers in the form of regional and non-standard dialects. Today in Jamaica, Patois falls at one extreme of the language spectrum, while Standard English lies at the other end of the spectrum. As a result of Patois not being an official language, a name for the Jamaican dialect has not been settled even to this day. Common names such as Jamaican Creole, Jamaican Patois, Black English, Broken English, and even Baby Talk or slang are all used to describe the Jamaican indigenous tongue. Linguists agree that East Indians, Spanish, and Arawaks have contributed somewhat to the vocabulary of the Jamaican dialect, but the majority of non-English terms, grammar, and phonology is African. And now, to end the Jamaican roots and culture, here's our famous quotation from the Black diaspora. The black man who wants to turn his race white is as miserable as he who preaches hatred for whites. The words of Frantz Fanon. For Jamaican Roots and Culture, I'm Pat Clark.
Jamaica is waiting. We got a whole lot of people waiting. Jamaica is waiting. Jamaica is waiting.
Yeah, that was lovely, man. And the language. A lot of us don't know that kind of history. And that is what Pat Clark brings, a kind of Jamaican roots history. One day, the teachers, them going to have to call back for those programs to play it forward, because that is what you need in the school. A whole heap of them kind of history there. It's necessary in the schoolroom. We have to really make a turnaround right now, because the thing get away, Rasta. Yeah, man, the thing get away. And nobody now want to realize that they get it. Well, people realize they get away still, but it's like them don't know what to do. Yes, it stun everybody. Very important, the language. Okay, so we tell you, so we have this feature here, Reggae Sunsplash. 1978, 1998. Reggae Sunsplash to Sumfest. You know that Sumfest is now, Reggae Sunsplash was then. Little sister beside me, she don't know nothing about Reggae Sunsplash. You know about Sunsplash? You used to go to Sunsplash? You tie your baby in a crib, man. In a crib, a baby crib. Crib in a baby. Alright, so we want to talk to Ronnie Burke. Ronnie Burke is one of the main man them who was part of that Genesis. Ronnie, how you doing, man?
Yeah, man, I'm good, Motor. Good to hear you, man.
Why the first you come on the program, I believe you, me, and I'm so glad to have you here, man.
Yeah, man, I'm glad to hear the program. You know, too.
All right. We want to document this program for future references, because we have a book here. I know you must know of the book, because today have you.
Yes, I know the book.
Java Emmanuel, him do it about several years ago. We have been on the line at all. But we want...
Hey, great things.
Yeah.
Long time having some to him. Good to hear.
Yeah. Java, you did it too?
Yeah, man. Greetings are the greetings, but greetings to the listeners, you know.
Yeah, it's a long time we're supposed to do that program, you know, but as we said, never done before the time. All right. Ronnie.
Yes, man.
I know about you, I know about Dan Green, I know about
Tony Johnson.
I think Vic Clean did in too.
And John Wakelin.
Is the 4 hour now started? Oh God, explain to Jamaican people what caused a lot of some young people to come up with this thing?
Well, you know, I was a life insurance man for about nearly 10 years. But my heart was always in the music. And so I kind of just jumped out of the music thing and went with a friend of mine, a school friend of mine named Mike Johnson, and we started a company called Micron Music Limited. And we just did Jamaican music. We weren't interested in any distribution of anything, you know, anything but Jamaican music. And for a while it did pretty well, you know. We actually distributed for Bob Marley, the Natty Dread album, and that was like a magnet for a lot of the other major artists. So I had a pretty good association with practically all of the name artists of the day. Mm-hmm. But the circumstances weren't out of business, and just then Tony Johnson returned to Jamaica after 17 years in America. Tony went to school in Los Angeles and really distinguished himself when he was brought back to Jamaica by the UDC as an urban planner. But if you think I love reggae music, you check Tony. Tony was a fanatic. And at the same time, Dan Green came back from New York after about 10 years in New York. And Tony introduced me to Dan, and I introduced them to John, because we were just hanging out on a daily basis. And always the subject was reggae music. And those guys were very upset. I mean, Tony used to rant and rave, boy. I could go to reggae concerts in LA any Friday and Saturday night, and I come home to Jamaica to the home of reggae, and I can't find no concerts. And he was really upset, and the same with Don. And so we used to sit around and bounce this subject around and talk about, we thought that, Jamaica was really wasting a major cultural resource. And those guys who lived in America were insistent that we don't seem to understand that this could be a major tourist attraction. So we used to bounce around, and then along came a lady named Beryl Francis. Now, Beryl was working at the UDC at the same time as Tony. And then she left and she started to work with Peter Martin Associates. And Peter Martin was the Jamaica Tourist Board PR agency in this summer. I mean, all the hotels used to just square up,
empty,
refurbished, their staff, and their big headache was how can you attract people to Jamaica in the summer? And they came up with the idea that, well, look, Nassau was doing this, what they call a singles league during the summer, which was very successful. It was packaging youngsters to come down to a beach.
Oh, like a spring break thing.
And right. And then they thought, well, maybe we could do the same thing in Jamaica, and they were looking for some promoters who would perhaps take on a song program of music or musical events. And there she went to the right person. She went to her friend Tony.
Tony Johnson.
And Tony rounded us up.
That's Tony Johnson.
That's correct.
Yeah. And what year this was? What year this was?
1977.
Okay.
And they encouraged us to put a program together and make a presentation to the tourists. And so we spent days and nights at Tony's house designing this program, or we'll put together a reggae festival. People thought we were crazy, Muta. Our friends,
of course.
Our friends, so you guys are crazy. You think tourists are going to come to Jamaica for Jamaican music, and boy, Tony, of all of us, was very, very stubborn and insistent, and Beryl encouraged us. And so, finally, we made a presentation to the tourist board. It came up with an 8-day event. We had 2 beach parties, and we had a jazz night for reggae jazz, and we had 4 major nights of reggae concerts.
Yes.
And we made this presentation to the tourist board. And boy, it took a lot of fighting. It took a lot of persuasion. They were very skeptical. I mean, Beryl was always with us. And who was a big help in it was Barbara leader.
Okay.
Barbara was the deputy director of tourism.
Tourism, yes.
And Desmond was the director, and he was very pessimistic about the whole thing. But we fought and fought. Beryl had convinced Peter Martin, and so finally they said, okay, let's give it a go. So that we sat down trying to find a name for this thing, and Don came up with this. Well, we have to capture a name that give us beach and give us music and all the elements that Jamaica has to offer. And finally Beryl came up with the name Sunsplash.
Yes.
And everybody agreed, boy, we love that name. So we named our program Reggae Sunsplash. And of course, we decided to give it a chance. So, off we went, Muta. I mean, there was no such thing as a reggae music event, festival, anywhere in the world at the time.
Yes.
And as I say, people thought we were crazy, even family.
Yes.
Thought we were crazy, but that was the beginning,
Okay. All right, so...
And we fought with it.
Yeah. All right, wait, hold on. You said Sunsplash. So who had the reggae on it? Or it just came automatic?
Well, it was always going to be reggae something.
Okay,
other, you know?
okay.
And so we threw the name around, and Don came close with, we need to keep the beach element in it and the music element in it. And finally,
beach and music, yes.
Sunsplash,
yes.
That's the name.
Okay.
And we just looked at each other and said yes. And at that time, the tourist board had an Austrian artist, graphic artist, wearing a styles man.
Yes.
He was in his 60s at the time. And he said to her, look, we need a symbol.
Yes.
We need some kind of design. And that man, within about 2 hours, came up with what we now call the reggae man.
The dread with the guitar.
That's correct.
All right. Well, hold on. I'm going to come forward to this. This is the cutting edge. We're exploring the first reggae festival leading up to Sumfest. Ronnie?
Yeah, man, I'm right here.
Yes. Yeah, we are talking about the beginning, the genesis of this thing. So, we reach a point where you say now, it named Reggae Sunsplash.
Yes.
And
yes.
The tourist board, even though reluctantly, but hold on it and go with it.
Yes, and we went to Montego Bay, and you can imagine doing an event like a Reggae Sunsplash, a full week of events. You got to do it before internet.
Yes.
You got to do it before cell phone.
Yes.
Jamaica had no stage. We had no
equipment
PA that could do big outside events. We had no concert lighting. So we just had to make do, We had a lot of help from people who just caught on to the idea and just jumped in along with us. We had a lot of fight too,
Yes, yes. I can imagine.
But we had a small army of people, and we got excellent support from the artists. Because really the artists had the vision. The artists could caught on to the vision before most people. And we had a full turnout, everybody in the clips. And somehow we got it together and we delivered our full week of reggae. We didn't really get the kind of tourist support that...
Yeah, but the Jamaican... that was 78 now, not 77.
78, that was 78, yeah.
Okay.
We didn't really get the kind of tourist turnout that we anticipated. And so financially it was kind of a disaster,
Yes.
Put up all our assets, money,
wow.
Bank take with the card, man. But it's 40. And then, the second year now, this is what really interesting, because we had delivered the thing. We got some cynical reviews from the local press. We got good reviews from a few overseas publications. And then one day I went up to Tufcom, because, as I said, we used to distribute magazines for Bob. One evening I went up to Tufcom, and he was sitting on that tree, strumming away, and he said, "Come here, man. Come here, let me talk to you." So I went over and he said to me, "I see you have a poster that says you have the biggest reggae festival in the history of the world," because that's what they really had,
Yeah.
I said, "Yes." And he said, "Well, that's a lie." I said, "Well, Bob, why is it a lie?" He said, "Because I am not on it."
Why they for it? Why they for it?
So I said, "Bob, look, you're the first person. I went to Don Taylor before I went to anybody else. And Don would have nothing to do with it." He said, "No, you go tell Don Taylor, said, me, Bob Marley, go and do it."
Yes.
And that was...
The next year.
That was magic.
The next year.
That was magic. That was 79.
I can just say, if you remember, I want to just read out something from Java Emmanuel Bukia. Reggae Sunsplash 1978, Jared Park. Friday, it happening in June. Billy Vernon and the Celestials, Rast Michael and the Sons of Negos, Light Parks and We the People Band, Dennis Brown, Uri, Jacob Miller and the Inner Circle Band. Admission reserve seats. Listen to this now, people. Admission reserve seat, $8. Pan the field, $5. Bleachers, $3. Sunday, June the 24th, Cornwall Beach, Montego Bay, Sugar Belly, Billy Ferdinand and the Celestials, admission $5. Part 2, Saturday, June. Alright, listen to this now. It's Corporation of Love, Joe Higgs, Light Parks and We the People Band, the Eptones, Jimmy Cliff and Oneness Band, admission, reserve seat, $10. That is reserve seat. That is like when they would talk about no more VIP seat. That's when they would say VIP. You will laugh when I didn't hear about $25 for Red Star like Pop Dog. Alright. Sunday, June the 25th, Jared Park. Alright. Family evening of various artists from the Western Jamaica Festival. Competition plus the Shades Dance Group, Fab Five, Myron Lee and the Dragonaires, the Blues Busters. Admission, reserve seat $5. Meet the Dragon single jump up. Monday, Casa Montego, Farmer Jump Up Festival featuring Myron Lee and the Dragonaires and the Blues Busters. And it goes on, admission $5. Sunsplash Beach Party, Tuesday, June the 27th, and that was Byron and the Dragonaires again, admission $5. That was the first Sunsplash. That was the lineup for the first Sunsplash. $5 for VIP section. You look for that, it's no fee, man. $5 now, people don't even look for the $5 silver kind again. Believe you me. Alright, so the next year you say Bob Marley, same one accompanied, and that was Bob Marley upon it the next year.
Yeah, man, Bob Marley and Third World were the outstanding artists for that year. And I tell you something, when the announcement of Bob Marley came out, that is when Montego Bay hotels went crazy.
Okay.
Because all of a sudden they had more reservations than they could handle.
Yeah.
You should have seen, they were called flat-footed. We had to use our vehicles and drive hotel managers to people's gates, to the workers, to tell them to come back to work quick, and they had to be cleaning out room and painting all through the night, and the place was sold out, totally. The airlines were sold out. People were sleeping on the ground in the Miami airport trying to get a flight into Jamaica. McGill was sold out. Salmont was sold out. Right up the runaway base.
Sold out.
It was madness.
But I want to tell you, what I mentioned a while ago was 5 days. It's 8 days it lasts, wow.
That was 8 days.
What I'm saying that the first one, what I just mentioned a while ago, was 5 days. I never mentioned the last 3 days. The last 3 days we had Harold Butler, Monty Alexander, Eat Incorporated, the Revolutionaries, Alti and Dana, Culture, Berry Salmon, Toots and the Metals. Then in the last day at Burning Spear, Third World, the Wailing Souls, Soul Syndicate Band, Bob Andy. That was the last day of the first festival. Yeah, so you have to know.
A great lineup, eh?
Yeah, oh, you mean, man, always. So 1978 now, it step up now, Bob Marley say him I will come do it, and whole place sold out.
Everywhere was sold out. There was chaos, madness.
Yes.
Madness in the place, and that is when Jamaica really realized what it is that we had.
Yes.
That's when we really realized.
And all right.
Of our music.
Dan, you the radio, Dan? Dan?
Yeah?
You there, what, man?
Yeah, man.
Hey,
Dan. Listen,
Hey, Dan, how you doing, brother?
All right. Dan,
yeah, man.
I want to find out, you see, the company was Synergy. Oh, I know the meaning of Synergy, but it sounds like such a beautiful name for a group of brethren come together and call a thing named Synergy. How that name they come about?
Well, the name that I was introduced to by Tony and Ban, the meaning of Synergy was the sum is more than the whole is more than the sum of the parts. And if you can, that is really the meaning of synergy. And at times, nobody understood this word. We were called synergy, all kind of name. Now, Now I have to laugh because everywhere I turn, I see Synergy this and Synergy that. But it was a name that Don and Tony had come up with. I don't know where they got it from, but they had already formed a company called Synergy to do other things. And when we came up with the Sunsplash idea, Don and Tony decided that they would use the name for the music event, Synergy Productions. So you need to ask Don where he get that name from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Don here?
Yeah, may I hear you? Yes. Ronnie?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, man, you did say something, but the thing cut out a while ago.
Oh, okay. No, that's a name I got from Tony and Don.
Okay.
The word synergy is something that they introduced.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where the name started out.
Yeah.
At the time, it was a new name.
It's a real word, man.
And the meaning of it was that the whole was more than the sum of its parts.
Yes, yes.
In other words, it was bigger than the four of us together.
Yes.
You know? And it's a name that they had for a company that they had formed before they met me. Before I met Don anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I knew Tony for a long time.
Okay.
But if Don's on the line, man, I can explain.
All right, I'm going. All right, I can go for our next. We're going to go for our next. Our next ad business and come forward. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I hope you have done. You know, Dan.
Yes, sir. How you doing? Good evening to your radio listeners.
Yes.
I'm happy that I'm connected now.
Of course, definitely. Because we couldn't talk about this and not talk to you, Because the two are now visibly, they're the ones that move. Yeah, everybody is gone,
Everybody is right, yes.
All right, Dan Green, we asked the word about the word synergy. And
yes.
Ronnie, I said we should talk to you about it.
Well, that was easy, Tony and I actually had formed a company prior to Synergy Sunsplash.
Mm-hmm.
They had formed a company. It was basically getting together because Tony had come from overseas. I had come from overseas after studying. We both came back to Jamaica when everybody was going in the opposite direction. Everybody was leaving Jamaica during the late 70s, especially after Michael Manley.
The fluctuation, the Cuba thing.
5 flights a day or something like that.
Yes.
Those who want to leave, let them leave.
Yes.
So many people are going the other way. And Tony and I, we came back. I did not know Tony previously, but we met in Jamaica, and we found that we were basically thinking the same thing. We wanted to come back to Jamaica to contribute to Jamaica.
Yes.
So many things were happening. Everybody was talking about the lights going out in Jamaica because of the whole socialism, capitalism, schism that was going on at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But to answer your question, Tony and I, when we got together as 4 people, myself, Tony, Ronnie and John, we said we wanted to form a company and let's think of a name. And Tony was the one that came up with Synergy. And we did have some little doubts about it. How would the people accept Synergy? It sounded like sin, eh? But Synergy is a powerful word, and it's all about togetherness.
Yes.
It states that the sum of the individual parts is not as great as the sum of the combined parts.
Yes.
So basically, with Synergy, you can get a situation where 2 + 2 could be equal to 5. When everybody is working together, they can produce more. Right? So that was basically how it came about.
All right, Dan.
Yes, sir.
The meaning, the dictionary meaning say the interaction or cooperation of 2 or more organization, substance or other agents to produce a combined effect greater than the sum of their separate effects. So
exactly.
Yeah, so everybody coming together differently, but coming together to make one synergy, to make the synergy.
Yes. Yes. And it really worked, you know. Really, really worked.
Yeah, and I will see that it developed. All right.
It was so profound.
Yeah.
I think many youngsters, many young entrepreneurs saw what we were doing and they saw it working, and I think it helped to inspire a lot of people. And as you know, Sunsplash in itself, really,
Yeah.
well,
make I tell you something now? 'Cause I used to live in them days, I used to live Montego Bay. We up in the hills, a place named Potosi, and the first year I hear about this reggae festival, I said, "Chum, I left my bush to go to the reggae festival in Rasta." But the next year when I hear say Bob Marley they part it, trust me, man. We reach down at somebody, we reach down at Jared Park, like PP, clack, clack. Just to see when Bob Marley walk going at the. It's the same your third world they part it to with CV.
Yeah, third world,
exactly.
And Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
And that.
No. Stevie Wonder came when Bob died in 81.
Yeah, we're gonna look on it. We're gonna see that book here. But no, man, I went there and I totally enjoyed it. I never go back one until I perform on it. The next one I was at the stage itself. But all right, so the program developed to become years, and then we say on move it and tour with it, because I was on one of the tour them with it to Japan and America. Oh, decide that go and take a reggae festival on the road, because that seemed like a Atlas Hercules thinking to take a reggae festival and carry it on the road. No come about that no, because one I never expect say, all right, the show stays in a Jamaica is a reggae festival. Why wouldn't you want to take it on the road now and tour with it? And it did tour with it for years and tour with it. So how that start, how that come out? Because I've never heard of another reggae festival tour in America.
Well, you see what happened is that in about 1984 things got so tightened up, so dread that Tony decided to go back to Los Angeles. He was still with Sunsplash, but he had to take his family back up to Los Angeles because the kids have got to the stage where college was beckoning and funds were very tight, and Tony went back up. But he never rested. He started. That is how the tour started. Because he went up there and started to build
and got
some backing.
Yeah.
And then Dan now had some Japanese connections. And that is how we got to Japan.
Yes.
We got to Japan through Dan and his connections. Yeah. And then Europe was a natural. We did 2 massive events in London with Capital Radio.
Yes, I remember that.
Crystal Park, we sold out Crystal Park, 25,000 people each. And then the offshoot to Europe was a natural from there,
Yes. And don't forget, in that time, there was no other festival.
Clapham Common Park, which was 1987. Clapham Common Park, that festival in 1987, I think, might actually hold a record in terms of attendance. We had approximately 300,000 people in Clapham Common Park,
And that was a police estimate.
Yes. It literally shut down London.
Yes,
it was the largest crowd.
They ever seen at a festival.
In any festival.
It was so big that the British authority never allowed us to come back. Because all the resources, that's all helicopters.
Buses stopped running. The trains, everything came to a dead halt because there's so many people. Of course, for those people who are listening, it was a free concert, We never got paid anything at the gates.
Yeah.
It was free.
But this was reggae. At that time. It was reggae, which is make a difference.
Yes.
Even if it's not free thing, but if you have reggae in that space.
Yes. Man. Freddie McGregor was the main artist.
Yeah, Freddie.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. Freddie, Maxi Priest was there also. Yes. It was really a great event.
All right.
But Crystal Palace was really good because we got Prince Buster. We were instrumental in putting the Scatolites together, which they had not been together for a very, very long time.
Yes.
And it was a classic event.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
In terms of festival now, we see, all right, one of the things that I hear, and Java will tell you too, that when you mention Sunsplash now, the first thing come to mind is Europe. Because a lot of these, what them call millenniums now, and a lot of youth now, them know about Sunsplash in Europe. Them never know, say, I see one of the reasons why we really want to do this program at all is to make people know, say, watch out. The name Sunsplash never come from Rotterdam or Germany. I don't know so it come from. Most of the things that we're related to, yes, so it come from. And we have to make the people them know, say, Sunsplash, some of the man them who originated, yes, so them there, them still alive, and it's just so it go. You know, we have to know that, you know. We can't make it fall out of history.
It's good at that time, you know, for us to register the name across the world was way beyond our means. I think the quotation for registration was over $600,000. So we couldn't afford to legally register the name across the world. So other people took it up, you know. Rotterdam took it up. And I'm happy to hear you spread the word that, you know, it's a Jamaican event. It's a Jamaican name, born and bred right here.
In Jamaica, yes. All right. Why is people in them time there, the sound used to go around and say, why them brother they know buy a place and have it a permanent place instead of carry it around the place, Jared Park, we about Bob Marley Center. You know, one time Ronnie Williams Center was part of that. Dover, I remember I performed at Dover. Where the place out of Portmore, Jam World. Yeah, all right. When did that go wrong? What was... you didn't have an intention to get a permanent place for yourself, or just something was out of reach?
It was out of our reach financially, to be honest with you, you know. We had really outgrown Jared Park. We were putting on a dance hall night 25,000 people in Jared Park, and it was getting really dangerous. The irony of it, you know, Muta, is that the Bob Marley Center wasn't built for us, you know. It was built for some foreign promoters who brought on an event called the World Music Festival.
I remember, man. Garcia and all them people, it's Peter Davis, Peter Tosh. Remember, man. Yes. So it's only get that now, because if that was built that way there and then only get inside and draw 40,000 people in there, I remember. I mean, Shabba Ranks come on, in a helicopter come down, that is the most memorable.
Well, you know, what happened is that after the World Music Festival, which was supposed to be an annual event, they just walked away and left it. And it was abandoned. The whole place was stripped about its assets. It was overgrown with bush and things. And we wanted to use it, and the government said, well, you can use it at your own expense. So we had to take what resources we had and we totally rebuild the Bob Marley Center, you know? Charles Campbell, who became one of our partners and directors, I mean, put his life into that place, you know? Had to completely replace all the electricals, all the fences, we installed 50-yard toilets. We just rebuilt the place.
Yeah, I remember.
At an expense.
Yeah. And I remember
and there was a recurring problem. The recurring problem was that at the end of the staging of each festival, you know, we had to tear down everything.
Pull down everything.
And then we rebuilt it the following year. Yes, and that was a recurring cost that had to really put a lot of financial strain on the project.
All right, so tell me, why want to reach a Kingston now? Ronnie Williams Center, Jam World.
Ronnie Williams Center came about because in the 1980 election, there was so much murder. Remember Jamaica had about 800 murders in 1918. They never had anything like that before. And the American and the English government put travel restrictions on their people. Said Jamaica, forget about Jamaica. Jamaica is erupting, you know. So there's no point going back to Montego Bay because there are no tourists.
Yes. All right, so why?
So just to keep the thing going, I went to Ronnie Williams Center.
All right, so why Choka Cove? Why Choka Cove? Because I remember performing at Choka Cove, and When them race players Dover.
Well, Chuka Cove came after.
Yes.
After Synergy per se.
Yes.
You know, had sort of disbanded. Everybody went different ways.
Yeah.
Right? And then, you know, the introduction of the tourist, the former director of the tourist board, which was
but before we get there, you know, before we get there, Don, you have to remember, you know, that after we spent 6 years rebuilding the Bob Marley Center from nothing to what you knew it as, the government decided that it was ideal for real estate development, and they sold it to a developer to build houses and threw us off of it.
You see, I don't Seawin was the old lads, Seawin. It's not Seawin was the old lads, because the hotel was along there.
Yeah, and then they promised to fix up Catherine Hall and move us from the Bob Marley Center to Catherine Hall, and they just never got Catherine Hall ready, and we had nowhere to go.
And Catherine Hall couldn't hold for the town people.
Nowhere to go. Catherine Hall, where Sunfest is now.
Yeah.
That was promised to us. And it was supposed to be a smooth transition by the UDC from the Bob Marley Center to Catherine Hall. But when, and they they gave us 2 years notice. But they never touched the place. I mean, and when the time came now for us to move over to Catherine Hall, it just wasn't ready.
Okay.
It just couldn't. It just couldn't. So we had nowhere to go. We were kind of lost. And that's when we said, you know what? If the government doesn't care about our event and tourism, then let's abandon tourism and try and survive. And that's when we got to Jamworth.
Okay. And that night, I remember you Masikela did upon it.
That's right.
Mano de Bango, them African artists there, you know, I mean, really. All right. So, make we, because we have to move on, it's 12 o'clock. Tell me something now. Sumfest. We see Sumfest come, like a half shoot of Sunsplash. And you say, them transfer authority from one organization to the next. As ones who pioneer the thing, you have any advice, or you just know about that with no advice? Where you could have look out for a pitfall. What you think is a pitfall if you go on a certain trend, this will happen or that will happen? Because maybe a man can't see it, you have to deal with another man experience. So what kind of experience you did say that you feel like you could have tell Joe about and say, look at Joe, this is that and this is that, don't do that and don't do that?
Well, I don't know, that may have a different view. My view, you know, is that the whole reggae scene has changed a bit, you know. We were determined to keep our event as a reggae event.
Yeah.
When Sumfest came in, after a while, they started to go into the hip-hop business for their mega artists, you know. I don't know what their experience was. Maybe they felt that, you know, the
young people,
the star lineup was not what it used to be nowadays, and they couldn't pull the crowds because the truth is dancehall outnumbered everybody else.
Yeah.
Even for us.
But I was talking to Joe last year on his program, and him same way, he want to bring it back as a strictly reggae dancehall festival. And we see last year was one of the biggest crowd them get with just reggae dancehall, and I think he might do about the same thing again. So here's this man come now and say, look here, we want to carry it back to the idea of reggae, and since we now infuse dancehall, reggae and dancehall, that is what him say. You know, that is what I'm seeing to do, you know. So I don't know if there's anything that I mean.
Well, see, I don't know. I think that what your problem needs to do is a good mix of the young and the old, because we do have some nice rising young artists.
Yes.
You have to be careful that dancehall don't wipe out reggae.
Yes, yeah.
You know? So you have to keep a balance, I think, you know. There's some real promising
reggae artists.
I guess Chronicles, you'd call him the leader of that new set.
Yeah.
But there are still veteran artists out there like Barrington Levy's and Freddie McGregor who still have it, you know. So I think a mix.
Yeah.
I mean, no two ways about it. Dancehall is going to bring the biggest crowd.
Definitely.
Don't say what you do. But I like the idea that Joe have of keeping it as Jamaican artist.
Jamaican pure as possible, yes.
I love that part about it. I love that part about it, you know. And I think Joe has the resources. I think he can rebuild the whole tourist side of it. I don't know. I haven't been there for a while. I've never been to one of Joe's events, but I used to go to some fest every now and again.
Well, last year was the first him do it. Last year was the first Joe do it.
Right. So I don't know much about it. I know that he had a very big dance hall, man.
Yeah, but maybe after tonight, you and Dan will have a job.
I don't know about that. I'm kind of retired. I just
retire, Ronnie. You can't retire, man. A young boy like you talk about retire, man. What you talk about, man? Young boy like you talk about you retire. Retire where?
Well, it's been a long, hard journey.
We know, but if the money is right, you get young again, man. What you talk about?
It's tough, and you know, I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't think so neither. I don't think so. And that is the cry out there now. And outside there, what is really happening in Jamaica? Why is it that the thing get away so? And it's because the steerers who supposed to steer it is not steering. You know, them just leave it in there for just let the wind blow it.
The motor.
Yes, sir.
Motor. It actually.
Hello?
I don't know. So like Dan got cut out there.
Dan get cut off. Anyway, Dan, we have to say give thanks. Anyway, Ronnie, give thanks, you know. Give thanks to the link. You talk about
it's been a pleasure, man. It's been always a pleasure, man. And thank you for your contribution to Sunsplash.
You know, say,
in forget Mutal style at Sunsplash.
May I tell you $25. My started, what I want to tell you now. This book here show that me and Dennis Brown appear upon Sunsplash more than every other artist.
That's true.
At 12 times I appear upon it.
That's true. And I tell you something else. When you put a stall on the ground, that attracted a whole lot of other people to come in and do the same thing.
May I tell you, man? May I tell you? It was wonderful. What? Ronnie gone. Anyway, why it's abrupt. Anyway, when it done, say we are going to edit still. So I don't know. So, yes, Ronnie Burke, we've been talking to the founders of Reggae Sunsplash. Ronnie Burke, Dan Green, John Wicklin, which passed away, and my brethren Tony Johnson. So we reach Sumfest. We're in the mood at Sumfest now. That's why I personally will continuously tell the people them to go out and support Sumfest. Go support Sumfest. Because we know what Sunsplash do for Jamaica and do for the music internationally. And we need to continue that tradition, government or no government. Because you hear Ronnie say, and we all agree, I don't really think these governments and these politicians understand the level of which the music contribute to the movement of, when I say job people. Believe you me. Get away, and plus to stall them now, you have 3 nights in the party where we used to rent stall at $25. And a matter of fact, I tell you one thing. The first time I performed on Sunsplash, I get to perform. And that time I have 5 musicians. and manager. You know what I say? 2,000 Jamaican dollars. And I have 5 musicians and a manager. And the manager draw out 10%. That's a $200 she take out of my money before me start to pay the musician them and take a money for myself. I mean, I will tell you how much a musician them get. Because nowadays, that that's not even per day. You can't go up on the music and get Muta, what you talk about? Who you get that for per day? That you can't be your man. You think a man could have given me the money they know? But at different times, the money gone away differently. You know, see it. In them days, as a matter of fact, you know, the US dollar did less than the Jamaican dollar. Yes, I remember when the US dollar, one Jamaican dollar was like 8 US, I think. Because when we used to regular sell tam, at $8, we used to sell the tam level for. When we used to need tam and sell a regular $8, we used to sell the tam level for. Why the way things change, man, it's unbelievable how things change. Okay. So we want to go to part 2 of this program now. Reggae Sunsplash, 1978 to 1998 by Java Emmanuel I. Hail, Brethren.
Hail, I.
Hail, man. Yes, okay. All right. This book has been out there. If you have, how long now the book come out, Brethren? Remind me.
Probably about 9 years now or something like that.
9 years?
Yeah.
Right, take it out long. You know, say enough you're going to sell now, though. You know, so you have to go print them back.
I tell you, Muta, I did everything myself. I did the photography.
Me remember when you used to struggle with it. You get to ask me to write the forward to this book. I mean, if you remember, you know. I read it and I wonder if I really did write it.
Well, Muta, you know, it's over 25 years I did an interview with you when I was in America.
In Philadelphia?
Yeah, 2-hour long interview.
Wow.
And that was probably, I don't know if the first, second, or third time traveling out of Jamaica and music to perform. But it was the early years when you just started.
Yeah, man, I remember.
You know? And we did that interview and 2 hours, and it's even very consistent with now and what you represent. And
then from them days, from the early 80s.
Yeah. So having that background and that association, you know, I said, well, you know, it was just a connection.
Yeah.
Well, check Muta to do the forward, you know.
All right, explain to me how you go about a book like this, like a chronology. This is now tracing the thing in detail, because in the contents you have Sunsplash venues, all the venues where Sunsplash keep, and then you have Reggae Sunsplash, the years them when it keep, and the artists them when they depend on it during the years, and then you have the admission fee. We just mentioned the admission fee, $5 for the first Sunsplash. Unbelievable, don't it?
Yes, it shows where we start, where we're coming from.
Somebody will call me and tell me, say, Muta, a $500 you mean, man, you don't mean $5. We'll have $5. $5. It's unbelievable.
$5.
Yeah, and then you have now the frequency of the artists them on the show. That means how much time an artist go on the show in the period of time when Sunsplash lasts. And you have the artists them on the depend. How you go about that? I mean,
actually, I've been told that it's 2 books in one.
Yeah. But I see something that you never mentioned though. Come in the depend one of the Japan Splash them. I mean, not see my name there. Yeah, me and
it's over 7 years of research, on and off, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Me and Shinehead, I think, and I don't remember Shinehead, I think Freddie McGregor, I don't remember who. And Desi them, we did one of the Sunsplash them. And then me, Peter Metro, all right, I can see. Me, Peter Metro, Chalice, and Freddie McGregor. I don't want to leave out nobody. Me, Peter Metro, Chalice, Freddie McGregor, they did an all American tour, like every state, right up to Canada.
Actually, you know, I didn't do the American tour. I didn't touch the American tour. Coming to think of it, so much information.
Yeah, but how you gather the info? Where you go get the information? Tell me.
Well, actually, we go to the library, you know, and the Institute of Jamaica. Pull all the gleaners and stars and you know, information from that. But first, I must say, actually, all the concept of the book came about is that
I was working on the radio in Philadelphia, and I used to come down to the festival, and I had started a newspaper too in Philadelphia, so I was taking pictures. I was busy taking pictures. And I remember the time sometimes when Sunsplash had a long break, I would end up sleeping underneath the stage with my camera bag like my pillow. And it was like working right around the clock taking pictures. So having said that, now, having all these pictures on Sunsplash, I needed to do something with the pictures. And from thinking about having these pictures, I wanted to publish them. I decided, okay, I will put it to a book. And that's where the whole idea now to cover Sunsplash. From having the pictures. And then I decided to say, well, we need to document ourselves. Because oftentimes, people abroad come and document us.
Well, brethren, I want to tell you, say, that is really the part of it was sweet me more than all. That is a Jamaican Rasta document reggae Sunsplash. I don't know of no other book will cover reggae Sunsplash like this book. And I really want to say, give thanks. Because many times we complain, you know. Or white people come here so, and I write this and I write that. And then when we look at it, we say, hey, you know, so say the boy I tell lie, I foolish matter. This book, without any apology, is like Ronnie Burke, did they? I have an interview with him inside it, so. And him is part of the original people them who started. So it get passed, it passed.
Yeah, and so did interview with G because it was important in terms of...
Yeah, I'll have DJ on the radio them time there.
Yeah, and G was one of the most... one of the MC that occupied the stage at Sunsplash the most, you know?
Yeah. But you all document all the DJ them, the MC them, and the
yes,
you know, you document all the MC them with the company show.
G is one of the most popular.
MC them, them, and Tommy Kwan too was one very popular.
So and also I had an interview with Tommy Kwan, and he's in the book and the pictures and things like that, you know. And I find G interview was interesting because when I speak him about the dance hall and whether he was the breakout at the dance hall, and his reply was that dance hall wasn't getting it play on the radio, and he was trying to bring it on the radio, and then after a while it got out of control and couldn't control it, and certain slackness and certain things.
Slackness come. I remember one Sunsplash, Yellow Man sword him on the stage at some serious terrible things. Yellow Man say, I think I in a Jared Park too, you know. I don't know if you did that there.
Well, you know, I was living in the States.
Oh, yeah. Well, I tell you, my Yellow Man angry my way. I mean, call all him name on the stage too, you know. I tell you, it was something else, man. But that a Yellow Man, it just a rise up. And people never hear that blatant, like, vulgarity come out of this mouth on the stage that way there. You know, like, it's like, this is like a new thing on a reggae, on a stage in Jamaica now.
Yeah, the flatness thing was farming roots in the music. But I want to say this, though, and the thought just come to my mind, and I'm going to group Sunsplash, Bob Marley, and Usain Bolt together. Why am I doing that? Well, I just recently went and see, you know, Usain Bolt did his last running, and I felt good to say, well, at least I can say I was part of the history there. Now, you have some people hear about Bob Marley and never get a chance to see Bob Marley, which is a big loss. And then I'm saying this about Sunsplash. If you never get to experience Sunsplash, then you missed a big part of Jamaican culture.
All right, so you not say this evolution, Sumfest, they evolve into Sumfest, with the whole group. When you run it, say one of the part there was really kind of the infusion of the hip hop culture for headline the Sumfest. As you know, the only other artists them where you sit up on Sunsplash was some African artists who play reggae. Yeah, talk about Manu the Bango who come to Jamaica, come make reggae. You have you, Matsikela, Lucky Dube.
I've seen Angela, what's her name, Kojo.
Angelique Kidjo, yes, me did the party first when she did the party.
I think he performed on that.
Yeah, man. I and then Burning Spear performed on that thing, and then now you have Stevie Wonder who did write the song for Third World, and then him come and do a thing with Third World on the stage, but was really like wow, you know.
Yeah, it was still fire, but him came on, and you know.
Yeah. So what I say though, like. Ronnie Burke talk about the infusion of the hip hop, and now we say not a new set of people. Joe come now and him say he gonna return it now to the purity where he talk about. It's just that now dancehall it's part like because at that time you never have a genre where name dancehall. It's just reggae you didn't have. So now what you think about that? What you think about the whole Sumfest vibe? So?
When you look at it from the broader perspective, right, it seems to have, like they say, what goes around comes around. It seems like the old revival, they have a thing of revival reggae. People want to go back to playing vinyl reggae, and you have the whole dub revival coming in again, and you find that the one drop is taking is coming in again. You find artists using a strong one drop in the beat now. So the revival of reggae is resurfacing in a way that we thought change up and, the new dancehall thing and all that. So I think everything is coming back into full circle where it started from. And where it started from is the one drop.
But you think the one drop will come back as the dancehall get more popular?
No, I would think one drop is coming back. Dancehall is going to be there, and if it gets popular, it's fine. It's not a matter. I don't see which one more popular. But what it is now, that there's a need for message music. There's a need for music to inspire the people because, you see, when the economics get hard and tough, then the music is like a lifeline. The music is like a brain food. And so we're going to need the positive music, as I say, call upon the players and singers as instruments to deliver the message, because them go into the chambers and they come back out with the message like the poet. And so the people need that now. So you find this is going to take its course. But another thing is, too, is the radio has a lot to do with it, in terms of feeding the people positive music. So the hip hop is there, but I don't like what Joe is doing now is at the right time. It's the right time to make the transition, bring it back more to a rootical show. Yeah, you may have a...
Yeah, but when I say no, I don't think it'll come back to the rootical show. I think it'll come back to the popular Jamaican genre. If you look at... All right, you hear Ronnie Burton say the dancehall will always be the biggest night.
Exactly.
Yeah, so now when you look on the lineup, at Sumfest, it's mostly dancehall artists upon it.
Yeah.
Are there any of the what you call vintage artists them you will find upon it in the Rocksteady era or the old roots dancehall artists?
Well,
so it's not like it'll come back to reggae.
The evolution of it all is that the younger generation will dominate the fields of music more than
that. I said. So when the argument about it coming back to the original way, I don't think that will come back to the original way.
It will come back to the original way, but it will resurface where it have a dominancy in the whole scheme of things. But when you look at it, the younger generation will have more discretionary funds to support the music. And the older people now, they have less discretionary funds. And at the same time, they may not be going out as much as the younger people who are ready to party and things like that. And there's going to come a time when they're not going to be going out as much, and another set of younger generation will take over the thing. So therefore, the music will always have its evolution and in that way. But
I just refer to the argument of the one drop coming back.
Yeah.
That is really what I did refer to. That the one drop are coming back. That don't reflect it on the surface, eh?
We would have to say then, to what degree is it coming back?
Yeah, well, it's a degree, but to say that it's going to come back, I am assuming that you say.
No,
when we look on the lineup now, eventually you're going to say.
I was actually saying in degree.
Okay,
you know?
okay.
A certain degree.
All right.
Yeah, I am impressed to see all the things flowing at this time. Because one time I did totally give up.
I am very impressed, though. I am very impressed.
You what?
I say I am very impressed, too. I am very impressed of what the Sumfest is offering now. You know, and I was impressed last year when him say him want to deal with reggae and dancehall, opposed to the previous owners them who bring a foreign artist here, spend all sorts of millions of US dollars upon them, and then them end up not being the major act on the show. I mean, when I say major act, they are said to be the highlight of the show. But then you always have like a beanie man and a bounty killer will override them continuously. You know, so we don't know why we need something to build up the music. You know, like the music is already built. It does need to now expand it. You know?
I'm thinking that they figure if they bring American crowd.
But it never happened. It never happened.
No, it never
because
happened.
originally reggae, you're Radberg talk about it. The reggae did not bring festival ever in a Jamaica. No other reggae festival bring tourists here to like reggae songs.
Also, we must let the people that know that reggae Sunsplash
bring tourists here to like reggae songs.
Also, we must let the people that know that reggae Sunsplash during its time all over the world.
All over.
Journalists, like all 160, 270 international journalists coming in to cover the festival, you know.
Yeah, I'd like say if Joe, well, 1 year gone, this is his second year, him say it's going to be bigger. Last year was big. Last year I think was one of the biggest Sumfest. Him say it's going to be bigger this year. I'd like say in the bigness of it, how much foreigner it can draw to Jamaica. Because I think that is what is missing out of the reggae in the festival them in Jamaica, because it draw the foreign show them draw reggae artists to them, but we don't see the foreigners them who is the audience being drawn to Jamaica like how the foreign artists is drawn to the festival them in Europe and America. I think that is what is missing in the equation. The equation is that these festivals like Joe now and Tony Rebel, make we see if these festivals can draw 100 odd, 200 odd journalists from all over the world.
Yeah. And you know, that time too, the caliber of artists that were around then had a lot to do with it too.
With the draw, with the pull of the foreigners.
Yeah, the caliber of artists that were around. And another thing was good with Sunsplash too. They used to do the tour before Reggae Sunsplash. They used to go on the road with the festival.
Yes, and then they'll come to Jamaica with it.
Yeah, and so people were motivated and got aware of what was happening and things like that.
Yeah, man.
So we have to look at the foreign market because we need a foreign currency. And, you know, the Jamaican dollars, you point out what we were paying for then to go
$5. $5.
And it still don't add up to what we were paying then, you know.
In 1986, you have in the book here, in 1986, it went to $40. So from $5 at the first stage, which is 7 years after, 8 years after, it went to $40 from $5. 7 years after. Really, it's amazing.
So, you know, we all need to think foreign currency, you know, producing, you know, foreign currency into the country, whether that's producing through the music, arts and crafts, all these things, because of the weakness of our currency, we have to pull the foreign currency in. So that means we have to look at the market in. So that means we have to look at the market out there and see how we can attract them to Jamaica.
Yeah, but we attract what we attract it to Jamaica, you know. It's just that the harnessing of it is what this is where the so-called government, them politicians, them lack, because we pull it because we go there, go get it and bring it come here. You know, see, what we want now is for some man bring it come here, but you see, them concentrate on tourism, and them say tourism is the biggest draw for foreign currency, you know, and what them call the Western Union money, the remittance them. You have a music right now where if you play the card right, and if Joe and Tony Rebel, because we have to talk about Joe now and Tony Rebel, because the two biggest one them there so now, we left. If Joe and Tony Rebel play them card right, I mean, really and truly, the artists them see at all. Because if them stay here, the people them is forced to come here. If them want to them great artists, them have to come here so.
Well, again, you know, we have to look at the situation of sponsorship and where does that, what role does that play? And yes, and historically speaking, at one time, reggae was not allowed to play on the radio.
Yeah, but it's a play enough now.
Even when it got to play on radio, it was not permitted to play on Sunday.
Yes. And now we have a reggae radio station, and we have 20 radio stations, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can look on something else. So we also deal with the entrance fee. After we reach from 1986 to $40, in 1992 it got to $150. So it take a little while for really jump to
some level. 92 was really still, and it wasn't too bad. You know?
No, because it was that was in the Bob Marley Entertainment Center, where them call Bob Marley Entertainment Center. After that, them lick it down. It's a terrible thing in a Montego Bay. You know, that was really something else to really tear down that place there, because I thought it was going to be developed in actually a serious music center.
Yeah.
When I hear to the man, them I lick it down for put house some on it, I say, what? Once again, the people them not interested in a reggae music. You know?
Well, with Synergy was having financial problems.
Yeah, they mentioned that.
Right true, and they were just in the love for the music for the most part. But it would have been great in that period if we had get 20 acres of land somewhere, somehow, to make along the tourist side, section. You know?
And I would have land to do it too.
Like entertainment complex, you know, because the instability of Sunsplash have to move all around the place, you know.
Yeah, that cause a breakdown. And you know the way they think about it, where I find, all right, them when the cricket thing did that happen, them find a place in a Trelawney for build a sports stadium.
Yeah.
But it's mostly music playing there.
Well, they don't use it for cricket no more.
No, it's mostly music. It's a music when reggae, Jamaica Jazz Festival. No, most of the music that playing there.
So you see, come right back to the music again.
I tell you, terrible.
But I don't. Well, I hear the comments made earlier that the politician doesn't really see the significance of it. I think that they really see it, but that is not what they want to market because Rasta and the whole thing of singing liberation songs and all them things there.
Yeah, but brethren, that hardly make no, you know. Liberation song hardly make no, you know.
That is true.
Every song, most of the song, wind up and come down. It's like, man, I want to vomit now, man. I look at my TV and music. I see the amount of bottom where I see on my face. I know I don't have to look at my wife phone at all.
And decadency taking over.
Yeah, so, it's like, them have a reason for promote it now. Because when them really are dealing with it, where really they don't know. That's why you see all of the company, them know I jump on the bandwagon now, because it is no more radically, a Mutabaruka or a Burning Spear or a Peter Thatcher. No. It is now decadent to the levels now where them can jump in there with them liquor and alcohol and drunk out the youth them and get them and talk about
Yeah,
drink
because
responsibly.
when we grew up, alcohol.
No.
That would have been a no-no. That was a no-no.
I remember, I want to tell you something, This I forgot to mention it to Ronnie Burke, There was a drug-free thing happening in the arena, and them put me upon it. And when me there behind the stage, me say, Jerry and him nephew back running like worries. So me go up on the stage and me say, me don't understand how this is a concert where I lick out against drugs. And Jerry and him nephew there backstage. Ratted. For years, including Sunsplash, them say if Mutabaruka they on the show, them not sponsor it. And Ronnie Burke say, hey, watch a man. Mutabaruka they on the show. And Ronnie Burke stand up to them and put me on the show all through the years. And them never sponsor it again. And right now, we don't see them as sponsor. And it's like a knot to them mouth now. They say, Jerry and them nephew. It's a terrible thing. So, right now we see rum place, alcohol, is one of the biggest promoters now of dancehall music.
That is promoting to the young people now.
Young people, yes, it drive them now. It's not like our days now when we did young and we are dealing with high-tal livity and, high-tal food and conscious lyrics and all them. Something is a total different thing, So, me don't know. I mean, but me still want the festival them.
They rise up and
yes. In a Jamaica, me I talk about.
Yes,
in a Jamaica. Because
when we check it, you some festival are going abroad now. It's like them want to make Jamaica like Jamaica now really depend the level like them depend. And we did it before because we set it and them come and pattern it. So we have to
Definitely. And we have to say, festival is live and well in a Jamaica. Some fest, live and well. Tony Rebel Salute, live and well.
And don't forget to Rebel has his share of struggle as well.
Of course. All of them have struggle. Rebel never start out like, how some fest start out really.
Rough times.
Yes, it's just like when the youth them, just like when Johnny Bird them was youth and them start out. I see me Rebel start out. I was not the first Rebel Salute, and still there with him 20 odd years after. Them way there. So we wish them success. Anyway, brethren, which part them can get your book? Which part them can get?
Okay, right now, boy, it's a shame I get so burned out after doing the book. It don't get for a while, but brethren, I can't keep the marketing going. My biggest site is disappointment.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen now, because people are going to ask for the book. I don't know what they're going to do, They're going to ask for it.
Yeah, well, them can, I don't know, give a number, they want to call, they can call.
Then tell them the number, man. Tell them the number.
850-2257, 850-2257.
All right, 850-2257. If you want a copy of this book, Reggae Sunsplash, 1978 to 1998, by Java Emmanuel I.
And let me say this, this book is an historical book. And as the years go on, the book is more valuable.
Definitely. And I know some whole people in Europe now listen to this program, and they want to order all 500 for putting at them festival. You think I joke me I make? Java, I'm putting it there,
And look, as me know, say the crowd out there, man, and them listen.
I'm cutting it there, Me why you make some money off of your book after 9 years, Rasta. And I say, people out there listen.
I don't really want to recover costs, but I give thanks I was able to put something out there. And when I see all a girl come from Spain and see my book on display at an event, and she gonna say to me, you have the Reggae Sunsplash here? I say, of course, because them had the Sunsplash over there going for quite a while, for years. And a new generation come and start. They created Sunsplash. So it's all about protecting our culture, protecting our music. So another one from another country can come through and say, and then they start this, and then they do that.
Here's the note here, the blueprint here, Reggae Sunsplash. But I want to tell you, if you carry this book here, if you carry 300-400 of this book, and the River, or Sierra Nevada, or Rotterdam, or any one of the festival, trust me, you make, but the money where you say never make 9 years, and right now you need to do it now because you depend on the radio,
it's vintage, vintage, because all the man looking there and say, Greggy, I said, you never know Greggy did laugh.
Yeah. And see me all in a chain here tonight. Mutabaruka.
Yeah, I
want a picture here, you know. Me want a picture here. Trust me. Me want a picture here. You have a picture here still?
Eh?
You have a picture here still with me in the chains?
Yeah, Mr. Paul, yeah, man. And I want to tell you another show stays in my mind. So it's the one that Chaka cover when you come out with them magnificent.
With the dance of them. With the dance of them. Yeah, me see it now. Lantonet Steins and I dance to them, yes. Yeah. You have all them picture there.
Presentation, man, because guy always reinventing. You know?
Yeah,
that's a beautiful thing.
Give thanks, brethren. Give thanks. Give thanks.
Thanks. Bless up.
All right. Yes, that was Java Emmanuel. I bet you don't know for years. You might talk about him. I interviewed me before, in about 30 odd years ago. Reggae Sunsplash 1978-1998 by Java Emmanuel and we'll tell you about maybe somebody going to take up the idea now for chronicle some face because that need for chronicle too. That need for chronicle too. From the time when it started, I think in 1993 it started. And so 1993 it started and no one, I mean it's at 25 years. 25 years of some face. And we see it go through management change. Now we say, a man come now and say, look you know, we'll go right through reggae and dancehall. Involved in the hip-hop business. We'll see how long him can hold on for that. Joe, anyway there. Anyway, anybody will know, Joe tell us a muta say. We'll see how long he will go hold on upon the hardcore reggae and dancehall. As part-time newly found toy, Reggae Sumfest. By the way, Reggae Sumfest next month, right? Next month, July. Me dey pan it, you know. MC, me and Elise Kelly. Wow. Yes, and Ran Mushet. Wow. We are MC one night. So, more the people them know say, yeah man. See, it's sweet. Jamaica for preserve it. We for preserve things. We preserve it. We can't complain so all the way, you understand? And if we not use our radio for promote with things, I'm not talk about buying advertisement and all them things there, but really and true, there's certain things where in order to make it go there that you can make money, you have to give a push. Because the more we push it, it's the more the radio station will also make money and buy too. You understand? And we are say, we can't make money off of some Sunsplash again. Because the man them retire now, 2 man out of 4 man left out of the whole scheme of the thing, 2 man left out of it. This book here is very important to me personally because I feel say at times black people write their own history. And this is one of the black history where black people write. And now some face come now, Jamaican vibes, Jamaican music, we need to chronicle it too. I don't saw it go.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
how you doing?
All right, sir.
Man, before we go any further, I have to thank you because you are into the history from way back when, but and you come right up to present day.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
All right, so give thanks.
All right. You mentioned some names tonight that I've never heard for a long time. You mentioned the Blues Busters.
Yes.
And the Celestials.
Yeah, the Blues Busters come from Mobile, you know.
Yes, I've come from Mobile too, and the Celestials come from Mobile.
Mobile too, yes.
Yeah, I remember the days when the Celestials and the Blues Busters used to come up to, what's the club name? The Sombrero Club.
Yeah, me remember, man, on Mullines Road.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was a man there called Alvaro Castro.
Yeah.
And Mr. Castro, in other words, every year there was a
Yeah.
and we don't win most of the time, but I realized that them days you were around.
Yeah, me a little bit them days, you know, but me did bad. Me find all the party and the music place.
Young people, hey, I was a young boy, me said that them days.
No, man, me tell you something that me used to do, man. Me used to have my khaki clothes in my bag. And when Meritone done, no, that's serious.
Don't let out yourself too much.
No, but nobody can beat me. My mother could have beat me. Nobody can beat me. My own man,
But I tell you something, you mentioned about when things happened in Montego Bay, you know why it took off so well? There were two guys down in it, one named Lance Stilwell and the Celestials. Yeah. And there was another one called Dennis Robinson. Those two guys, they used to work with the airlines. And they were the ones who push it out and make a lot of announcement all over the place. Yeah. Every person who come through the airport, them give them a little card and say, well, come back, come. Make sure you come back by such and such a date because that is when we're going to be having...
Sunsplash.
Huh?
Well, that's when you're going to have Sunsplash.
Yes.
Yeah.
So them guys, they don't get little tongues, they don't get little run, but me know they did that.
Of course.
Because I was living in California at the time, and I'm saying to me, I'd say, well, all right, next, if this thing goes through, we're going to do another thing the next year, and I'm do it. And I was over in California, and I get to push things.
Yeah.
And after it was over in Los Angeles, I remember asking the young people at the high school, I said, who the favorite artist? They say, we never see him. But the favorite artist was Yellow Man.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't there. I don't remember if it was there, but they say Yellow Man is our favorite artist because he sings God's gift to women, and so do we. I said the boy was
all of the DJ them think that. Tell them it's God's gift to women. All of them think that.
Son, we have been through a lot after all these years,
yes.
But keep it up because it's people like you who keep things going.
I know, so I'm going to play a tune for you.
Eh?
I'm going to play a tune for you.
No, the last time I asked you for a tune, you never give to me.
No, but I give that one, I know, because I ask you for it now. I tell you about it now. A blues buster, I'm going to play for you.
All right, but I tell you what you will look for me now. You when you Masikela came here in the old days.
You mentioned that already now.
Yes, you never find it.
But me not find it.
But you know what it was? I think I remember the tune now. The tune say Terra Nova. You say that the Terra Nova.
Oh, you say you remember the tune I thought they were stay.
It just got me. No. It say that the Terra Nova hotel and they wrote.
Hold on. The last time you called a couple months ago, you told me say you want to hear a you Masikela tune.
Yes.
I remember the name. No, a while ago you say you remember the name. Him stay at Terra Nova. Is that the true name?
That is one of them. I don't know if it... Yeah, I take that one.
The true name, him stay at Terra Nova?
Yes, man. No,
wait, hold on. I could get something clear.
Yes.
The music where you want to hear name, it's him stay at Terra Nova?
No, it's called Terra Nova after the hotel where you stay when them come to Jamaica.
Oh, all right.
I understand what I said.
All right, so let me play this and look for it.
A long time, watching me.
All right, let me play that tune, I'm going to look for it, all right?
All right.
Yeah. May I tell you, say, anytime I listen to them, remember James and Bobby Purified. For those of you who know the music from them time there, it's a duo. Well, James and Bobby Purify are two man and sing said way, and them sound like them, believe you me. This is the cutting edge, yes, EL.
Blessed love Mutabaruka.
Blessed man.
Love vibe, you know?
Yeah man. Don't change it though, you know. Don't change the vibe, do.
No, we're not going to change it still.
Yeah.
So we watch it towards the music thing. I say, them time there, to this time, if the youth and how we do the music thing and how we really realize and listen to them music there. The money, I really like the music so the
derogative now, you know. That's something when them have, you know, the radar, and radio and dance hall and them something there. Well, you know, them should even better come out of the studio, you know. Power. We take a check. For the studio, man, the owner for the studio is supposed to get them kind of thing to come through the system, you know. But the youth them out there and the youth them style up thing.
Yeah, but all the youth them make the tune them. I mean, come, all the youth them make the tune them, you know. I mean, say them shouldn't allow.
But I say, them shouldn't allow that.
Who shouldn't allow it?
All the musician them.
No, but the musician, I know musician them make. A computer, the man them I use. Most of the time them a computer, you know, so I know like musician should not allow it. Musician want to eat food too, so them make the tune where sometimes you don't know who go up on the rhythm. You know, you say all 10, 20 hours depend on one rhythm.
But not eat food but any kind of derogative thing.
No, but listen to me, I say, hold on there. Wait, hold on there, brethren. Hold on there. A man have some money, a producer, and him call 5 musicians to make a rhythm. And the musician, they make the rhythm, they don't know who go up on the rhythm. They make the rhythm and then the producer go now and call some artists and put on the rhythm.
So we have to the producer, them come like a reducer now, you know, because they reduce the total inspirational thing now, bring it in some derogative way.
Yeah.
And of course, I will put a chaos, cuss, and man, I take all them private bedroom thing and I tell a music
stage, I put on stage.
Yeah. So that's when I go up on all the stage, you know, and all the musicians, them will play all them things there. Them should even bother play them kind of thing for them people.
You mean on the stage?
You know, man.
Them shouldn't play it on the stage?
No, they don't play that. Them to make them people go one side and clean up them up, man.
You have a bridge named Warrell King. You have a bridge named Warrell King, where him start a band and him say, no artists will use certain things, and him did really hold on that too. He make him back say, him now back up no ladies and no this and that. If you come on it.
No, what if you do them thing I know the music a forward from, you know, I don't know, derogative thing, you know.
Yeah.
And music's supposed to bring clean sensation to each and every one, you know.
Yeah.
So right now, the man them turn to the war, them turn it to all kind of little filthiness. We need to realize, man, if we have a continue that way, we have to lose out everything, you know.
Yes. Yeah, we understand, Reggie.
I play look watch what thing I go on, man. Some of the man half key, you know, them I say, you can't hear them, with them gone all far away, leave them.
We have to move though, Reggie, we have to move.
We know, man, there's something we're serious, man. I don't know, look a joke thing with the pan.
All right, so.
The music thing, man.
Yeah, this is the cutting edge. And I refer him there with you, yes, EL.
EL Muta.
Blessed man, thing go, you know, man.
Yeah, man, you know, first thing I want to say, you know, is condolences to the, you know, and friends of at least the 12 people so far who have died as a result of that horrific fire in the Ladbroke Grove area of West London, you know, yesterday morning by Grenfell Tower. Because some of who died are some of our African people, you know, from various places, Africa, here, elsewhere, you know. And the council is fully responsible because it was something that the residents complained about in terms of safety and so. Even last year they said that it seems like a catastrophe is going to happen for things, you know, for things really, you know, really sad, you know.
All right, so let me ask you a question now. How much, you know, them have an idea how much people live in a skyscraper building there? How much people live in there?
Yes, it's 120 24 floors, so about 1,000.
Yeah, families with little picnic and all over there. Yes. Yeah, people show their babies through, from the 9th floor.
Then me don't see a man I don't know if it's a man, but me see somebody a jump off with fire upon them back.
Yes. People jump out. Yes, a kind of reminder of Twin Towers in New York City where people jump, desperation rather than to be burnt alive, Real sad. I mean, it's an area that I know very, very well, that Ladbroke Grove, Latimer Road is here in West London. That's the area to where we have Notting Hill Gate Carnival,
Yeah. All right,
and things,
Let me ask you something now. Them find out what caused the fire yet?
Officially not yet, but what I can tell you is that a brother who was interviewed, who lived on the 4th floor, said that his neighbor told him that his fridge exploded.
You serious?
And then from his fridge exploded to fire. But what caused the spread of the fire, is that the council made some builders have put on the outside of the Grenfell Tower some cladding to make the place look so-called pretty. But the cladding is made up of very inflammable material.
Like plastic.
And this is why fire spread so much.
It's like
because it's coated with, this cladding is made up of material which is very plastic, which is very inflammable.
Yeah.
So this is why within 30 minutes the whole place was engulfed in flames.
Them say the fire brigade says come along there 200.
Yeah. Over 200, about 200 fire brigade personnel that were working, and things. And what it goes to show, is that really and truly every home should have fire extinguishers, both for water and for electrical.
And fire escape.
Yes, and also fire extinguishers.
Yeah.
Because, fire can take place at any time. I remember growing up, my parents always had a fire extinguisher. No fires took place at the home, but we had a fire extinguisher, Because prevent is always better than cure, and condolences where that is concerned. And also, I'm glad to know that Arthur Robinson Bunny, that is service at the Seventh-day Adventist Church by North, and he was buried at Meadowrest.
Hold on. I couldn't have left England yet, man. Last week I talk about the election we want to talk about, The election part now, because it come like your personal.
Well, where the election is concerned is that what Jeremy Corbyn has done with his manifesto and his very commendable campaign is that he has prevented the Tories led by Theresa May of increasing the majority to come to full power. So this is why they have had to add an alliance, because the meeting's still going on with the DUP from Northern Ireland, who are a Protestant political party. But how we're seeing it is that this thing is not going to work for too long. We're looking out for another election soon. And the hope is, by me and others, Corbyn leading Labour will win.
But I tell them
because this is how the signs are going.
I tell them I try each and the Brexit thing for the table again.
Yes. But what happened is, but what happened is that how it is looking right now, if an election was called right now as we speak, it would be Jeremy Corbyn winning, and we don't see this Theresa May alliance of marriage of convenience in the DUP lasting for too long. Because one of the things that a lot of the Tories don't like with the DUP is that they are totally opposed to same-sex so-called marriage. And they are totally opposed to abortion. As one of them said in Northern Ireland, Peter shall not marry Paul.
Yes. She did it still. Always I said that she a go run the thing. Always I said that.
No, well, as George has run the chancellor says she's a dead woman walking, because what happened is that her authority has been severely undermined because her colleagues are seeking to get rid of her because they are blaming her for calling an election that she thought they would win, and she has turned off a lot of the Tory people by her what you call haughty and attitude.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, very.
We get them on thing. Okay, come like you now. Yeah, all right. Who is the Prime Minister of England after the election?
The Prime Minister is Theresa May.
All right. So is Theresa May the Prime Minister concede that she will? You know, I concede that. I mean,
she has Muta. Yeah. She has not won. It's not like that. Okay. Let me explain again.
Okay.
Because she did not win an overall majority as Tory to form the government. Yeah. She has been forced to do a deal with the DUP was then. Yeah. Without the DUP. So because of that, they are asking for things that she cannot refuse if she wants to be the Prime Minister. So her power has been diminished.
Yeah, we know that.
And also some of her rivals for the leadership in the Tory party, like Boris Johnson and others and so. That she was seeking that if she had won by an increased majority, she would be able to get rid of or run things totally. That has been defeated because of her loss to what she had before.
Me hear what you say.
Yes. So that is a political reality. You see, she's in a very vulnerable position politically.
Okay. All right.
You see, and thing, you know, and just wanna say also that I'm really glad to hear that Augusta Avenue in Montego Bay is gonna be renamed Jimmy Cliff Boulevard in honor of Jimmy Cliff. You know.
Yeah.
I'm a man who was an international reggae superstar from in the late 1960s. All over, West Africa and other places and so on.
You didn't hear the Sunsplat?
Sorry. Yes. I'm also. I do know that book written about Reggae Sunsplash from 1978 to 1998. Yeah. So that's 20 years. When it started, $5 entrance fee.
I tell you.
Yeah, I mean, $5 entrance fee.
Ronnie Burke, who is the founder of this thing, laugh when he hear me say $5. I can't remember. He might remember say I really $5 for true.
Yes, for real, and Ronnie really has done, some great work in those times where Reggae Sunsplash is concerned, and it was really something else and for the promotion of reggae music, because we need to have our own reggae to bring people from outside of Jamaica to come to reggae.
Instead of all of the artists them are left to go over Europe, make some of the people them who are promote the thing them come over Jamaica.
It's because they would be forced to come to Jamaica if they want to hear the artists.
Yes.
And of course the reason why a lot of the artists go outside of Jamaica, I mean, and of course they must tour outside of Jamaica. Yeah. But the reason why so many of them go is because of a lack of the amount of reggae festivals in Jamaica. Yeah. And this is why things like Rebel Salute and so on, which came on after Reggae Sunsplash and things like that, we need to increase and have more of that because this is something which is absolutely necessary. Because it's only we can promote our own thing to safeguard our culture by financial benefits from our culture.
Yeah.
You know, we definitely have to. You know, as Marcus Garvey says about self-reliance, we talking and complaining is not gonna work.
No,
we have to put in place the things, you know. And we have a situation in Jamaica still with the 2 o'clock, with the sound system thing, that sound systems must be turned off, whereas in countries abroad, reggae music and other forms of music are not under any 2 o'clock curfew ban.
No, hold on. You didn't hear the first part of the program?
Not the very first part.
All right, well, look at they have curfew in other countries. As a matter of fact, the festival that I attended this weekend is 8 o'clock. It's the cut-off time for that festival. In the day.
Where was this now? Where was this?
Right in Queens, New York. Roy Simmons. Simmons' name? I remember it. Anyway, I have been on tours already where them have curfew. Curfew meaning say you have to cut off at a certain time. Them do allow you to go past at a certain time. You understand? And it's not like Jamaica where them tell you say 12 and the thing go to 1. For them say 12, police come there lock it off, or the man them lock off the light for you. So it's not really...
Yeah, Muta, what I'm saying is this. Is that while you have cut-off times everywhere in the world, what I'm saying is that there's more leverage in terms of times with reggae concerts and that type of thing abroad generally. There's more time allocated in terms of the time. And the 2 o'clock curfew in Jamaica with sound system that promote the music, you know, is that turn down the sound at 2 o'clock, but don't turn it off.
Yeah,
turn down the sound system.
All right, turn down the sound system, and when the police move, them turn it up back. And not only that.
Well, what must happen is that the penalty for turning it up back after, then the full weight of the law must be brought to bear.
But them have a penalty fee, you know. But here what me I say now. Me understand this thing about lock off and thing, but here what now, brethren. You have some people I keep dancing or Rasta, and them not have no intention to consider other people in areas where it's all some built up here where people want to sleep, people come home late at night, people want to sleep, old people they were sick, picnic they want to do them homework and thing. And the man them turn up, they say that is not music, them are playing now. Something to my cause bad when I make all that.
Yes, and I agree with you that things like that, cussing bad word over the mic and that type of thing, that they should be prosecuted where that is concerned. And also, what should happen too is that there should be efforts to have certain areas whereby the general public are not inconvenienced by that.
That's why I know say the politicians them a joke. Because long from the other government and the other party I talk about designated areas up to this day.
Designated area, exactly.
Up to this day we can't hear or see no designated area. Just like how we are waiting for the place to keep the music where it's comfortable and progressive. Up to now we can't hear nothing more than that, so I don't know. The law
Well, it shows the hypocrisy that they talk about designated areas, but they only talk about it and not doing anything to implement, the making of these designated areas, And I must say that some of the younger set of artists are really continuing with the positive lyrics for reggae music. I mean, for example, on Thursday, the 22nd of June, in London, Kabaka Pyramid will be performing.
Protege was here recently, Chronix was here recently. Bigoton, the artist from Manchester, Jamaica, who has toured China and other places, he was here recently. So it's good to know that we have a younger generation of artists who have positive lyrics where reggae music is concerned. And as in every generation, you have the artists with the positive lyrics. That's a reality, because remember in the 60s we had music like Big Five,
Ricka Poom Poom and all them thing there.
Yes, you know, music with sexual overtones, you know, and that type of thing. So it's not anything new, you know. I mean, Wet Dream, you know, and so on.
But
you know,
it wasn't the main course. It wasn't the main course, bro. Those music wasn't the main course.
No, it wasn't the main course. It was part of the course, but it wasn't the main course.
No, it is the main course.
But in recent times, the negative lyrics of you know, like weed overtake the garden. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. It's not only the main course, you know, but it's all dessert you're getting for too.
Yes, it's true. But we have to do what we have to do. This situation, you know what I'm saying, you know, and I wanna let us again. You mention it, but I am mentioning it again. Remembering Leonard Percival Oil from Clarendon, Jamaica, original Gavia, it was 119th anniversary. Will be this coming Friday the 16th. You know, born 1898. And left us on the 25th of February 1981. And I want to hail up his daughter who is in Florida in the States, Kathy Howell, you know. And also my sister who I went to school with at Friendship Government School, St. John's Road, where my parents taught, Louise Watson, known as Joyce, who grew up as a little girl living in front of Pinnacle, still lives there. You know, she was able to tell me a lot about
what's going on up there?
Leonard Percival Oil and his wife and thing. Yeah, because she lived literally. Leonard, I mean, Louise Watson, we call her Joyce. And anybody who listening, they will know that in that area, to big up, tell Louise Watson, Joyce, that Mandingo, our schoolmate at Friendship Government School, so for big her up. Yes, so keep up the good work and stay strong.
Yeah, man.
Blessed love.
Hello. Yes, EL. EL?
Yeah, man.
Blessed man, cutting edge.
Did come and see your Sunday, no?
But I hear you.
No, because I came and saw you on Sunday. That's why you Wilkins Park.
Right, Wilkins Park. Oh, you did it Sunday, you say, oh, okay. Yeah, man, I read.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I really got the people, them, man. What them do? That means you so much.
But you broke up, though, you know. You know, come through. Or you're supposed to come through, you know. You under your bed?
Yeah, you hear me now?
Yeah, me I hear you now, yes.
No, me I say, I really got the people, them are buying me shit too much.
What you say? Me I hear you. Me I do what?
I say, people, them are buying me shit too much. I say, I run from them.
Well, you have to go call again, you know. Trust me. You have to go call again. Believe you me, you have to call again. And get a different phone or come from under your bed or something. Yes. Okay. Make we play this tune, yeah. Since you talk to Mandingo, yeah.
EL Motor.
Blessed man.
Motor?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Pick up yourself. I'm wait to see 8 hours Sunday and I have to left.
You wait 8 hours to see me Saturday Sunday?
Yeah, and I don't see at all. I don't know what time you come on. I left there 7:10.
Oh, wait a second, man. Be yourself, man.
You have to come back.
Hold on. The show, and you left at 7:10. And you never see me on the stage no time at all?
No time at all. I'm less 10 minutes past 7 or something.
You did that when Sister Carol come on the stage?
Yeah, man.
You did that when Sister Carol come on the stage?
Yeah.
No, remember good. You did that when Sister Carol come on the stage. Remember good, you know. You don't know who named Sister Carol?
Problem.
Wait, you don't know who named Sister Carol?
Probably no. Me I thought the young girl, the young Rasta
young girl. What do you
girl come on.
brother? May I ask you a question? You did there when Sister Carol come on the stage?
No, me never did that.
You did there when Glenn Washington come on the stage? Wait, no, you did there when Glenn Washington come on the stage? I don't know who named Glenn Washington.
No, me never see it.
You never see none of the show then? You don't see the show?
Me see, me left when him, even must be there, something like that.
When Trilla you something like that, you come for come say, you don't know Trilla you don't know Glenn Washington, you don't know Sister Carol. Make you come there.
Yeah, man, are you?
But you what me say now? Me did there. Me don't know where I say. Me did there. Me don't understand why you left 7 o'clock. Me did there.
Yeah, me never see you still. But at the same time, it's a good thing to come still. I make some good connection with some people, you know.
Good, beautiful.
You know, and I see a lady where from my brother, me and I just click, and she said, I'm going to introduce the motor when motor come and she has to like she grant to them godparents or something like that, you know. But make some good connection. Yeah, you know what I mean?
So you did it from when o'clock you go there? 10 o'clock?
I go about 10 o'clock.
In the morning?
But through me that for come back down, down, yeah.
And you stay till 7 o'clock? And you stay till 7 o'clock in the evening?
Yeah.
And you don't see me? We did it.
You know, but like me say, me make some, me like the vibes, you know?
Yeah, me come about after 6. Me come after 6.
But what time?
But after 6 me come, but me did run at the backstage there.
Yeah, you know, but
I saw it go.
Yeah,
next time.
Me have a good vibes, you know.
Me glad to hear that.
But
so you know, wait, you come back long now. You long now.
No, man, I'm Massachusetts.
I'm Massachusetts. You drive from and come down there.
Yeah, man. When they tell the people, yeah, you know, I'm really the motor still, you know. You know, but I make some good connections, you know.
Sir.
No, man, I say come, man. You know, I say, anyway, never do it again and again and again. You know?
No, me I tell you, say, if me left from Massachusetts, if you come from Mutabaruka, I mean, not see him next time I see me turn up on him foot, you know.
Yeah, but like I said, I make some good connection, you know.
Yeah, man, that's good to hear.
I like the vibe, you know. I like and the people and they are well-behaving people.
Of course. You know? No, if I'm, no juggle business.
Yeah. Everybody where they know what them about, you know. So you find to the police, them probably never necessary.
Well, wait. You didn't hear the first part of the program?
I mean, you what?
You didn't hear the first part of this program when we talk?
No.
The last artist
But me listen to that man.
Let me tell you.
One of the YouTube man, you know.
Yeah, but me want to tell you.
Yeah.
The last artist to go on the stage was Kimani. The show was supposed to be done 8 o'clock, right? And Kimani married up on the stage 11 minutes past 8. And the police them come backstage. 2 white policemen come and say, cut, stop. So everybody get frantic now and I go up on the stage. For go tell Kimani, say, must stop it. The police them say, must stop. You see, meanwhile, when they on the stage, I try to tell Kimani, must stop it. One of the white policemen, them run go up on the stage and hold up him and say, one more. Me say the place in the tear down to rotted. The place
in a traffic.
Me say the place nearly tear down. You can't just imagine a policeman come on the stage in New York. I used when Kimani hug him up, so him hug up back Kimani and have up him hand in the ear. I say, one more, may I tell it.
You see the vibes like me, I say, what happened there, so now, you know, it's like, all we that behave themselves, you know. Everybody they shall behave themselves.
Yeah, man. No,
I don't see one negative, nothing go on nowhere there, you know.
A true, man.
You know what I mean? I tell you, say, me never go amongst people because I just approach one. You see all the people over you and I table.
Oh gosh,
and this from me there.
You
right.
Know about weirdos. Them a come down here. Them a come down here August. I go and bring them parties program because them start something where them have a warehouse, no food where them a try.
Yeah, man. Them tell me about that, man. Them tell me about all that. You know, lead me through that.
And like,
like through that needle.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Anyway, we have to move, Bridget. We have to move.
Yeah, man. The big up Fireball and the whole East Kingston and big up my mother, Miss Linda. She understand what I go on, you know, little by little.
You know Queen's good? No,
you know, check from people.
I rent the car for come down. I rent the car.
So I live in a motor. We must have a vehicle where we can drive our Queens and
me?
drive when we want. Me not
only for my brethren them. Anytime they come and train them take. Believe you me. And I tell you about them have to go home before the train stop. All right, give thanks. Yeah, brethren?
Yeah, man, respect, man.
Yes. I know, you know, them are going like the fathers, them no worth a day, you know. Because I notice when Mother's Day, it flood up the place. Father's Day, you know, you hear little things there and hear little things there, but you know, you hear little things everywhere. It's a weird little thing. Fathers, well, you must look on what that mean. Look on what that mean. Believe you me. Yes, ill.
Ill, Mota.
Blessed man.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm kind of coming from the program late. I look apart of the
Sunsplash
1978 to 98 things.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I'm big. But me think me Manding just say a thing like about the Irish them about the Peter can something like that. Them would have saying say Peter from my part or whatever. But now I wonder if you know hear the news about somebody another some big politician out there a leader up, you know. One of them happy fellows where come from India, is an Indian brother. And he's very happy. So I don't know why I go and Peter will start my bar up there.
No, but the Irish Prime Minister is outside, is a gay person.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
They tell me like him say, well, that means you that say, so Peter can my bar up there. I want them turn the Prime Minister.
Yeah, man, the Prime Minister is a professed gay. Him not in a closet.
Yeah,
so.
I do that too, but with the music thing, you see? Like, me, you want to thing, I think Bob got me to say. But, the Johnny Messiah, who am I type?
Yeah.
You know, no more fucking and fighting.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, you ever hear about Johnny Nash here in that Townstone and here to Rastaman? I never Babka get that. They were two Rastaman argue at Townstone. You know two Rastaman are who? No. Bob Marley and Leonard Howell.
Bob Marley and Leonard Howell argue?
Yeah, the two of them argue, right, you know? Something. And I saw that inspired to sing the song. No more forcing and fighting. They hold me tight.
I suppose me hear that still.
Well, you know, and then you could say them like when you tell them Bob Clark and O.B. and all them people who play the...
It's so like where you are here.
Huh?
When you listen to the words of the tune, it's so like where you are here.
Oh, well, you know, that's no more fussing and fighting. Wrong thing, I do the part like it's a woman in my task, and I said, you the hold the part like it's a domestic dispute.
Yeah.
So, you know. So, but it's like, in terms of the inspiration, you know, when it's to Rasta, it's coming like a family.
Alright, make we listen to the tune then. No, because I want to hear if it can fit. If it can fit where you're saying. Who you say it's a two Rasta man in a fight when them write it?
No fight. I'm a fight, you know. It's in that Townstone and in here I'm argue. You know,
okay.
Then I don't like to something and Bob Marley.
Yeah, me understand.
You know, yeah, just a little, you know.
Alright, we're going to listen to the tune, yeah? Alright. Yo. No. That's not gonna work, you know. That interpretation is not gonna work.
Yeah, but I'm not saying, in terms of this, I don't know, but why did you see me and I'm just flip it and put it like that, you know?
It's all like you want to believe it, you know.
I could have been still, you know, like...
Where is that?
And yes, yeah, it's it down because, you know, if him sing about a woman, also, and you get the record as well.
Oh, like Smile Jamaica, where Bob Marley sing. I remember him sing, Chronics, where Chronics turn, like Jamaica. You know the truth Jamaica by Benny King.
Yeah.
Benny King said true about Jamaica, you know, it sound like a girl in my talk about. So where I say, no, this sound like a girl, but it's really two Rasta man.
And so, then I say, when the time would come to him, I put stone in there, and
in two Rasta man attack. Him just turn, he just put a twist to it.
Yeah,
it will twist, brother.
And it turn that big hit.
It will twist, it will have big hit.
I'm not still there, the music, it make with the reggae, with all kind of genre of music. With it kind of familiar and mixed in with the part of the station. Right? They have something at home where they are where like some people come down and deal with some like people are going to go take music lessons and do that kind of thing. And them say like the man did that research and thing, and he finds like the first a Jamaica is a Jamaican do the only oratorio in this side of the world. You know, when I come out of Europe and them places. The whole of the Americas, South America, Central America, Caribbean, everywhere, at Jamaica. It's a Jamaican do the first one. You know, oratorio, like a religious music, whatever, like something like opera almost. I really know so Jamaican in them kind of music, but it's back in the 1800s. You know? Yeah, man, all political things we have about the music. But it's the music, man, because, you know, when many people talk about the whole heap of slapness and them things, you know, me not say, the only thing me say wrong about it is when I up on the road, I play all both years, really could everybody, back in the days, it a play for a long time, but it's when the dance hall where people may go.
Yeah. Please don't touch me tomato and all them something like.
All right, you know, it's in a code. It's in a code, you know.
Except for Prince Buster. Reka Pum Pum, all them tune Prince Buster make. That's
only part of one, you know. But even when start doing all them
with the young girl one.
But that they meant to them do this all long time.
Oh gosh, man. And they meant to them wicked, man.
Night food.
You know the name Night Food?
Yeah, the one.
You know the name Night Food? The little lot of the time is that you don't know the name Night Food.
Name Badati.
Yeah, Badati, yeah.
Badati,
yeah, man, years ago, me interviewed Badati before him dead and Chen from Canada. I will produce it. Yeah, man.
You know, I never tell you to know one time. One time, I never listen to a big band, you see?
Yeah.
I used to go on one. I want to do that. So, Duke Ellington, when they come a pala. A palladium there, right? So, everybody in a building house gone, you know, 4 hours left in a building house and I go. And we have one deputy road master there and I'm a full house master. The name Davidson what they doing in come from Sri Lanka, or then called Sri Lanka now. When I buy the speaker, everyone in the world. I'm going to tell you, so the man in come and he said, Piggy, why you not gone? But we know where I said, so we are bad man, we not gone and place. We not listen to music there. You just see the one and thing we listen. You know? And you say, go and get some culture, go and listen some different. And you know, so man give you the money so we should get pay and go in. So we have to go now, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not telling you, you know, man. And we go. Belgium, you know, so nobody know come out there in time to nobody know look out the palado. Hey, you never know some man could have played drums so sweet and my jail time man have played the drum. I went busy getting playing up.
I tell you. We see play already now in the Central Park, man, and New York there. Dizzy Gillespie there. Mr. Dizzy Gillis to play that Central Park, and you know him turn up him turn it up in the ear. The part where blow through. In the trumpet. Him turn it up in the ear and blow. Me I tell you, man jar Rasta.
When the man jar puff out like
I tell you.
But me say the man the music, but me I say the drum solo, you know, man. You know, the man go Congo drum and then something there. You know, so very sweet, you know, take the drum and all, you know, so a man could have a drum set to have them time there.
Yeah.
You understand me? And music did like, but so people forget. You feel listen different, you know, you feel listen that kind of music, and then your boy don't mix your music nice.
Open your head cup, man. Can't just appreciate our music. We have to move though.
All right, man.
Yeah, man, listen. Yes, so without mentioning night food, we want to give thanks to the moment, you know. Give thanks to... All right, no. Sandra. No. What's your name again? Remind me again. Sandre. Stay here with me till 2 o'clock. I can't... Well, I'm not 2 yet. So I can't say 2 yet. But at the longest any so-called producer ever stay with me in this program, yeah? Well, I know you are not the longer because which name used to stay. Who used to stay with me at night. And Brian used to stay till it done. Brian don't stay again, none at all. At 10 o'clock, so him gone. Neil used to stay with me, but him not stay, him not come back. So, thank you very much. And you help for produce the thing, get the man them to come back. That is very nice. Where the operator name again? Who there? Chevane out there. Chevane out there, mama. Tid. Chevane, who are yellow vita too. Who, as me say, no make me hungry at night time. Believe you me, and when I go home, him no make me hungry at all. So give thanks. Give thanks. If the program not done yet, but remember the Brenton just mentioned night food a while ago. I want to pay night food, you know. Because them people did not, them people you know. All the year them are going, but them young people, you see, them young people, I can't take them out of what them listening. You ever hear what them are listen to? In a mental business, I go and play some of them. Anyway, we can take this card. Yes, Ian.
Yes, Muta, blessing.
Yeah, man, Harry.
Yeah. Me did call earlier, but you never hear me, you know?
Oh, yes. Till that mumble.
Yeah. Yeah, me I say me did come check your arrival with Kingston Park Sunday. I'll take a picture and thing, you know?
Oh, yeah? Wait, that's what people...
Yeah, man.
I mean, make you come down, eh?
Of course, man, absolutely.
You know, all who come up there, come see me without my shoes. When me look out, everybody put up their hand too.
about 90% I crowd come to see you, man, you know? Yeah, man. It was a joy meeting you still for your first edition was nice, you know?
Yes, where you live?
New York.
No, which part of New York?
Brooklyn.
Oh, you live from over Brooklyn, come over Queens.
Yeah, but you know what happened though? Right. Me play cricket and me take it day off to come watch you because me go Jersey in the morning for your christening, then come back a Queens to come see you and take it day off from me game, you know?
Boy, you're busy, man.
Yeah, man, but you do that still, you know? Strength of motor.
Alright, sir. Alright,
yeah,
give thanks, brethren, give thanks.
Yeah, man, blessings.
Yes. I tell you, New York people, a long time, we don't go to New York, you know. I'll go back, they're going to show, you know. I'll go back, they're going to show, because I'm not, well, actually, I'm not really interested in America again, for the levels. Because, you know, say, Lieutenant Sitchin never perform, because them say, him apply for him O1 visa, and him never get it quick. Ask him for this history of him things from 1980s and all them something there. So I say, then the man never get no visa again, you know. By the time them don't ask you for your history of travel, from your start travel till now. I mean, and because one of the time them usually ask you for list all of the visa them where you ever get. entry up to a certain period. The French embassy used to do that too, you know. The French embassy usually asks you to write down all the listings wherever the last child travel. Now they might ask you that on the listings that travel, but all of your email them. Look at now, the enemy within, you know. If them things say the enemy will come from outside and go in there, they make a sad mistake, you know. All of the terrorist attack where them have already are people who grew up inside there. All the man them will bring down the I saw Harrow we grew up in there and go to school and them something there. The one we go lick down this thing down in Florida the other day. The woman and the man them have this party and they shoot up people and them thing there. And this is not a terrorist attack, but it's an enemy still shot. A long time, you know, hear no big official get licked in America, you know. Because America love kill them president, assassinate president, you know. They love do it. One of the other countries, say, boy, if them not like it, them do the. But you see the man say, the Republican Party is the Taliban in America. And you know what you mean? 66. 66. The man at 66, him come from Clearwater, Illinois, to come right down to Florida there. Not Florida, I wish for them there again, Virginia, or Washington. For come lick two head. You know? None of them not dead still, but they must say one of them in a critical, the senator, look like him in a critical condition, but America no ramp. Can you hear them say that? You see after that? Them send an email to a woman senator, one of the women them, you know, where and say, 1 down, 216 to go. Yeah, and let him say that the email said that, so they might try to trace the email, you know. 1 down, 200 add leave to go. So it's like a war, them a rage, anti-Trump war. It look like the beginning of something, you know. It's a new thing, this, you know, like a beginning of a whole thing. Because the man say, him not like Trump. Him not like anybody who follow him. So him feel say them should have get rid of him and all of the people them round him. Fortunately them kill him. Anyway, make way. Call that, all right, proceed. Yes, EL. I think on the last call we're going to take more. Yes, EL.
EL, Muta?
Yeah, blessed man.
Yeah, I just phoned Bob Clark. He said that the tune hold me tight, the Johnny Nash. He said it was a argument he heard that took place in Trenchtown between Bob Marley and Martin McPlano. Yeah, it was an argument between Bob Marley and Martin McPlano, you know, and then Johnny Nash got the idea from that because he was there and witnessed the thing. And some time ago you did mention a tune from Studio One named Rainbow, and you was asking who was the artist. Is when he used to sing with Light Parks as the duo The Termites, the Studio One.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So cool then.
Hold on. I could go back to the Johnny Nash show. So what Johnny Nash do is see a situation and then twist it into a woman, like
into a woman. Yeah, because as we know, when we hear that tune in the 60s, round about 68, it is obvious that is a man and woman thing, because definitely you're not going to hear Bob Marley say about hold me tight and them thing there with Martin McPlano. Yes, and hold me tight, because Bob not depend on hold me tight with no man.
But not only that, no, because you have a tune named I Shot the Sheriff, where it's not the sheriff you talk about. You know that song there? I Shot the Sheriff.
Yes, man, I Shot the Sheriff and do over to.
Yeah.
What about it?
No, it's not a sheriff you talk about. I know sheriff you talk about.
No. Yes, they must say it's not no sheriff they talk about. I mean, when I inform a girlfriend that mention something else, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. All right, Bridget, give thanks. Give thanks.
All right, blessed love.
Yes.